That was the second strikeout, and then, of course, he ended up with 5. But, Randy, what did he have, 13 strikeouts in his first outing?
Yes, I think we were spoiled. When I was talking to Randy on the road trip, he was saying he was laughing with McGuff, because McGuff opening night, who we are going to see tonight, McGuff is starting tonight.
Right.
But McGuff was saying to win and kind of laughing at him. Randy said to Patrick that he pitched more like Patrick rather than himself. Yes, Randy's a good strikeout pitcher, but that night he just had things rolling, and I think that may have been his career high in strikeouts in a game. He's known to throw a lot, but I think he was just so special when we saw him last Saturday that it's kind of hard to follow up that kind of performance. The thing that I liked about Randy's pitching yesterday, not only did he pitch well, but he was able to get 2 strike counts right away. With the batters within the first 2 to 3 pitches, he got a lot of 0-2 counts or a lot of 1-2 counts, which is very crucial because then it was able to get the hitters uncomfortable in the batter's box. And as a pitcher, once you get a 2-strike count early, you're able to work the zone and work your breaking pitches, whatever the case may be. And then the offense finally showed up. We had 4 home runs yesterday. The most important one was the first one that was hit. Carlos Castro, who has been struggling going into Thursday's game, had a lot of strikeouts. He was swinging and missing at third strikes that were breaking pitches that were in the dirt and should have been ball 4. So he led off with a 3-run home run to set the tone for the Otters. And with a guy like Randy Wynn on the mound with a 3-0 lead before you throw your first pitch in a game, I think that just helped out the Otters' confidence overall. They also did take advantage of a lot of errors that were made by the Thunderbolts. Particularly, they had men on second and third. They had Jack Meggs at third. Hunter Cullen up at the plate with a 2-2 count. He lays a bunt. A 2-2 count, he lays a bunt to the pitcher. And the pitcher, Christian Matthews, overthrows the first baseman, and that allowed Meggs to score easily. And Keith Grieshaber came up a couple of batters later and ripped an RBI single. Keith Grieshaber, who was signed the last week of the spring training, has been filling in nicely for David Cronin at second base until he's able to get healthy. And now he's playing shortstop because I believe J.J. Gould has a bit of the injury bug too. Oh. So Keith has played well in the field, but most importantly, Keith is the Frontier League leading batter in batting average. He's batting .500. He is the league leader in hits with 10, and he's among the top 5 in a handful of statistical categories. As of right now, Keith Grieshaber is deserving to be on this roster.
Well, yes, you kept mentioning that constantly on your broadcast, that he was the leading hitter in the league. And I know he's been getting 1 or 2 hits per game, and, as a sub, he's striving for a starting position, and that's the way you get it. And but, going back to Randy, you were talking about him, that is what helped us win the first 2 games, and again yesterday with Randy, and that is when you get ahead of the batter and you have a 0-2 count or 1-2 count, the batter's at your mercy. And that is what has happened to us on that road. It seems like in listening to you, there's a called strike and there's a swinging strike. Now it's 0-2. Our batters were in the hole, and that's what happened. When you're in the hole, you start swinging at bad pitches, and that's when you get a lot of strikeouts.
No, I completely agree. And the first 2 days of that road trip, the Otters weren't the Otters in a sense of they weren't hitting the ball well. They weren't even getting hits. In Wednesday's game, they only had 2 hits for the whole game.
Yeah, I recall that.
It was, in a way, yes, it was frustrating, but at the same time, it's not like that they weren't trying. I think we had to tip our cap to the opposing starting pitchers. Between the first 2 starting pitchers of the Thunderbolts series, the Otters only had 4 hits. The opposing pitchers were able to do what Randy did yesterday. They were able to get the Otters in 2-strike counts early, and therefore they had to protect themselves at the plate instead of worrying about trying to be a baseball player and looking for their pitch to hit in the batter's box. When we come back, we will have we have Matt Rowland. Matt Rowland came in for Randy Wynn yesterday. Randy Wynn's day was done because of the 25-minute rain delay in the 7th inning. So after the rain delay, Randy was done, and it's kind of hard to follow up a pitching performance like that. So when Max called on Matt Rowland, he was able to do the job. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And in the break, we're going to be listening to all 4 home runs that were hit in Thursday's game against the Thunderbolts in a 12-2 victory for the Otters. We're going to come back. We'll get the Matt Rowland's interview, and then we're going to get into the starting lineups and first pitch. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Toroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Toroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Toroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Toroni's.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Now let's go inside the clubhouse for today's one-on-one with the Evansville Otters.
I'm here with relief pitcher Matt Rowland. Matt, thank you for joining me for today's interview.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we come off a 3-game series against the Thunderbolts, but more importantly, we were able to win yesterday to get back on the winning track. Overall, how does the clubhouse feel after yesterday's win?
It feels good. It feels like everyone's getting back on track, kind of getting the hitters settled in. And pitchers are starting to get more of an approach for batters.
Now, yesterday, Randy pitched really well, went 6 1/3, and was pulled out because of the rain delay. And Max, our pitching coach, called to someone in the bullpen and called your name. First, how did you feel? And were you really nervous when he said, you're up on the mound?
No, I don't really get nervous. It was kind of expected already. I thought I was going to go out there. I was excited to throw. I always am, so I was ready for it.
Did you feel any pressure knowing that you had to come in for Randy because of the rain delay, and knowing that you had to continue in a way the performance that he was doing out on the mound?
No, I just went out there and tried to do my thing and see if I get hit, I get hit, but try to take the same approach I usually do and hope it works out.
Now, coming back home, it always feels good. What is it about, pitching at home, especially at Boise, that kind of gets you guys as a team ramped up?
I don't know. It feels like it's a home game. It's everyone feels better at home, obviously, and I think it's nice to be able to just know that we have our own fans here and aren't getting trashed by every other person in the stands.
Now, lastly, this series is a little bit more important because it's a divisional opponent. Does that put anything that you have to do anything differently, or do you just get more amped up or go about your same approach every day as a team?
I just had the same approach. I think everyone really does. Just kind of hitters are reading pitchers, obviously, and got some scouting reports on guys. So pitchers usually taking the same approach unless there's something we need to work on.
All right, Matt, thank you for your time. We'll head to the starting lineups. The first pitch, you're listening to 91.5 WUEV, Evansville Otters Baseball.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
We all have busy schedules, but could you spare just a couple hours a month? That's all it takes to make a big difference to the Big Brothers Big Sisters one-to-one mentoring program. You can spend just a few hours a month with a child in need and guide them towards a more positive future. For more information on local Big Brothers Big Sisters programs, Call 812-425-6076. That's 425-6076. Start making an impact today.
Castro at the dish, lines this one to far left field, deep left field, and that ball is gone! A 3-run home run for Carlos Castro, and the Otters are on top by a score of 3-0. The 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, center field, and that ball is gone! Dakota Phillips launching this one deep to center field. Otters up now 6-0. As Morris puts the glove in his way, so kick and fire. And Long will launch this one to right field. And this is gone over the right field foul pole. And that is a 2-run homer for Ryan Long. Cherubio, standing tall at 6'6", will kick and fire for the first pitch of the at-bat. Hanson lines this one deep to left field, and that ball is gone! 2-run homer for Mitchell Hanson. Welcome aboard. Second home run of the series as the Otters take a commanding 12-2 lead.
Evansville Living Magazine presents a historic Newburgh Wine Fest. This 2-day event will be held at the Old Lock and Dam Park in Newburgh, Indiana on May 17th and 18th, 2019. The wine tasting, fine local music, and a fabulous view of the river makes this a must-attend event. For more information, phone 812-853-2815 or visit historicnewburgh.org.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
It's game time for the Otters on 91.5 FM WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
3-1. Long. Toward right. Toward the corner. Toward the foul pole and over the wall. Fair. Home run for Ryan Long.
First pitch. Cronin crushes it in the air to deep right field. He bat flips it and it's way out of here.
Don't forget, Otters fans, you can catch every Evansville Otters broadcast on 91.5 FM WUEV, online at evansvilleotters.com, and through the WUEV mobile app.
Roxon deals the 2-2 pitch. Fastball called strike 3 on the inside corner. Vale rings up Bissell to end it, and the Otters are going back to the postseason.
Now, let's go out to the ballpark for all of the action.
Welcome to Boise Field. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Bill, the Otters are back home where they belong as they face a divisional opponent in the Florence Freedom for an important 3-game series. Let's meet the starting lineups for the Otters. Batting first, playing second base, David Cronin. Batting second, playing shortstop, Keith Grieshaber. Batting third, playing third base, Ryan Long. Batting fourth, playing right field, Mitchell Hanson. Batting fifth, playing first base, Carlos Castro. Batting sixth, playing left field, Jack Meggs. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Taylor Lane. Batting eighth, catching, Rob Calabrese. Batting ninth, the center fielder, Hunter Cullen. On the mound for the Otters, who is 1-0 with 12 strikeouts over 6 innings of work, Patrick McGuff. He will be greeted by the Freedom leadoff hitter, left fielder Isaac Bernard. Bill, the last time we saw Patrick was opening night, and he was spectacular. What are you looking forward to seeing from Patrick?
Well, I hope his breaking pitch is as good as it was in the first game, and he set up so many great hitters, and let's see what he does tonight. I was watching him warm up. It looks like he's got a pretty good breaking pitch.
First pitch right in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Isaac Bernard, who is batting .208 so far for the Freedom this season. Second pitch from McGuff. On the outside corner for a called strike 2. I think from our last time we saw Patrick, he likes to pound the corners, especially in the zone.
Yes, you call him Patrick. I'm now calling him Patty.
Patty.
Because of his Irish background.
The 0-2 from Patty is a foul ball down the third base line and out of play. Bernard is from the hometown of West Richland, Washington, so all the way up in the northwest part of the country.
Yeah, Washington. You can't go any further.
McGuff puts the glove at his waist, kicks and fires for the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That was that breaking pitch I just got saying, how it looked good. He threw, 5 or 4 fastballs, then comes back with that big, beautiful curveball.
That's the pitch he's been working on over the summer.
That's right. Very effective.
That'll bring up one of the hottest hitters in the Frontier League, second baseman Louis Pintor, who is batting .400 and arguably the best player for the Freedom this season. The first pitch to Pintor is low for a strike.
Well, so far in the first 2 batters, Patty started off with strikes.
Ooh, that hit him. McGuff shakes his head in disbelief, but Pintor will be aboard with a hit by pitch.
I'm quite sure that was not intentional.
No, Pat doesn't seem like that kind of guy to purposely throw a ball at someone. That'll bring up the right fielder, Ricky Ramirez Jr., who is also a left-handed batter. He's batting .188 this season. From the hometown of Deer Park, Texas. So it's very humid today at Bossy Field, Bill, and it seems like Ramirez is familiar with this kind of weather.
Ooh, what a lead that guy's got over there at first base. Wow.
McGuff throws over. Castro lays down the tag, but not in time. Pintor, it seems like he does everything for the Freedom. He leads them in batting, and with that lead right there he just had on first base, he probably is a threat to steal. McGuff kicks and fires. The first pitch is a swinging strike on the outside corner. Gets him with the fastball right there, Bill.
Yeah. You know, pitchers don't pay attention, but when you get a runner on first base and they start, like now, see how he's taking 3 or 4 steps at a time going second? Boom, that's when you pick him off because he's got his motion going to second base.
McGuff doesn't see that. With an 0-1 count, he takes a deep breath on the mound. Nods his head, and the 0-1 pitch is low in the dirt for a ball. Calabrese throws down to second. That goes into center field.
Oh, he should
and
be
it goes
out.
over to third. Throw from Cullen is not in time.
Error on the catcher.
So a successful stolen base to second goes Pintor. And then after the overthrow by catcher Calabrese, Pintor goes over to third.
Yeah, it's not a nice square. Well, actually, didn't we start the first game with Patty initially with the first inning, and the batter got on with an error short, and then he held them?
Let me look back
the first game.
Let me look back in my records here.
Shortstop made JJ made an error.
That was the
first game.
Yes, you're right, Bill. Next pitch to Ramirez Jr. is a swinging strike for strike 2. And the umpire walks out to visit McGuff on the mound. Oh, just to give him a baseball. Okay. I thought he wanted to consult him about something, but...
A lot of times, Dave, when the umpire gets hit with a ball in a foul tip or something like that, in order to recover, they generally walk out and hand the ball, which is nothing more than for the umpire to get his breath.
1-2 the count to Ricky Ramirez Jr. McGuff kicks and fires for the 1-2. Ooh, that was on the inside corner. Good placement right there, but it's called a ball.
Yeah, high inside, yeah. And see now, Patty's thrown 2 curveballs. One, very effective strikeout, and the second was the one that was in the dirt that the runner Pintor stole second base on.
2-2 count. McGuff takes a deep breath, kicks and fires for the 2-2 pitch. High and inside once more. Count now full with 1 out.
Yeah.
Temperature says it's going to reach a high of 87 degrees, so it feels more like a summer day than a spring day.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll have a lot of 90 days, I'll tell you that. And that's beautiful. I love that.
You're more of a summer weather kind of guy?
You ain't kidding.
McGuff with the 3-2 pitch.
There's that
Chopper over to McGuff at home plate,
Ooh.
and he throws to home instead of throwing to first base.
No!
McGuff thought Pintor would go home, so he throws it to his catcher, Calabrese, instead of throwing to first. But with his motion, he fielded it and was going forward no matter what. So I don't think if he had time to throw to first base, it may have been an overthrow. Probably wasn't the best decision, but it wasn't the worst decision. There weren't any errors made. But the Freedom now have men on first and third with 1 out.
I saw it as a different situation. Dave, I saw it where the catcher asked for it home, and that's when the pitcher. Otherwise, he had an easy out at first base. All he had to do, you're right, he scooped it up, but all he had to do was take a step, throw him at first. The runner on third.
First pitch to Andre Mercurio.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he's
is
arguing.
Low in the dirt, and apparently he's trying to argue that it hit him.
The umpire doesn't buy it. But getting back to that play.
Go ahead.
No, it looked like, in my opinion, the catcher was saying, here, because he never looked up. All he did is scooped it and gave it to the catcher. The runner on third did break, but then stopped. He was maybe, let's say he was 20 feet away from the bag and then stopped to see the play because he knew he'd been dead at home plate because, again, that ball had only gotten away, 10 feet at the most. So, therefore, it was the catcher who made the bad call. That's my opinion, the catcher. And I'm a former catcher. And he's the general of a team. And in this case, I blame him.
So as a catcher in that particular play, what would you have done? Would you have communicated with McGuff saying, give me the ball and I'll throw down to first?
No.
Or do you tell your pitcher throw to first because the runner wasn't coming?
I would have been looking at the runner at third, knowing that he stopped. Turn around to the pitcher and say, step and throw to first.
Okay. 1-0 the count to Mercurio, as there's a called strike on the outside corner, evening the count at 1 with 1 out.
That's one of the things you always want to tell a pitcher. Step and throw. Don't throw off balance.
McGuff, with the glove at his waist, takes a deep breath. Nods his head a few times. And now time is called.
You've got a jumping jack there over at first base. That
Ramirez.
Is that Ramirez on first?
Yes.
Okay, here's
now
a jumping
who's on
jack.
first?
No,
Who's on first? The 1-1 is a bunt to McGuff. Throws it over to first in time, but Pintor comes around to score, and the Freedom lead this one 1-0.
You see, now there, you had it at home. All he had to do was throw it to home plate, and you had him by 20 feet. Now, I don't know. It looks like the catcher did yell home, but Patty didn't pay attention. He went for the out. So, therefore, the first run is scored.
So now there are men there's a man on second base in Ramirez with 2 outs. Freedom take the early lead at 1-0. To the plate will be Caleb Lopes, the designated hitter for the Freedom. And Lopes rips this one to right field. Hansen goes back, and he makes the catch with the sun in his face. The Freedom get a run on the board. The Otters come up to bat. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Otters.
Welcome back to Bossy Field and Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Bill, the Freedom, the Florence Freedom, take an early 1-0 lead. But the Otters are about to bat, so they can try to get it back. And we're still in the first inning, so there's plenty of baseball left.
Well, let me say it this way. Calabrese is the catcher, and he was instrumental in all of the important plays in that inning. Insofar as on the steal, he threw it in center field for an error. I say he made the wrong call at home, and there he ended up with a run. So let's hope he makes up for it with a base hit.
David Cronin leads off for the Otters, and he was, when we were in Windy City, Crestwood, Illinois is not far from his hometown in Orland Park. In fact, there's only 10 minutes from the stadium, and after driving through that area with fellow broadcaster Terry Bonadonna, as the first pitch to Cronin is a called strike on the outside corner. Terry, we went out to get deep dish pizza, so I experienced Chicago deep dish. But we drove around town and happened to drive through Orland Park. It's a very nice middle-class neighborhood. The next pitch to Cronin is low and inside for a ball. Count even at 1.
You wanted that Chicago deep pizza, deep pan pizza compared to the East, the thin crust.
I like a thick doughy crust, but I've never had deep dish, and I think that's just a Chicago staple. Yeah. As the next pitch to Cronin is fouled down the third base line towards the net and out of play.
Well, I'm going to say there's a good pizza place, and all I'm going to say, I'm not going to name it because they didn't pay me to advertise, but it's off Green River Road.
Okay.
For real good New York pizza.
Okay. I'll take your recommendation on it.
Yeah.
The 1-2 pitch to Cronin is a low ball and away. Count now even at 2. Pitcher on the mound for the Freedom is Scott Siebold. He doesn't have a decision, but he has a 1.22 ERA. He went 6 innings in his first start. And the 2-2 from Siebold is low and inside. That was close, don't you think?
Too close. I always told a hitter, boy, when you got 3-2, you don't want to rely on the umpire saying ball 4. You better be protecting that plate.
There were a handful of times. Cronin, in one of the games over the previous series, as the 3-2 to Cronin is a foul ball down the third base side and out of play. In one of the games, Cronin had a 3-2 count, had a similar pitch inside, dropped his bat to walk down the first, and the umpire called strike 3. And I thought of you and your original saying in that particular situation.
And I recall it, and I said to myself there.
The 3-2 pitch to Cronin. Inside, ball 4. But go ahead, Bill.
I said, yeah, Dave was really listening to me, wasn't he?
Well, because the umpire makes the call. It's not
That's
the batter.
Right. When a batter starts walking to first base, he's actually conceding that it's a ball before the pitcher ever threw the ball. So, therefore, he doesn't know whether it's a strike or a ball. He just automatically, somehow psychologically thinks it. Now I'm getting into that psycho stuff.
No, you're good. That'll bring up Keith Grieshaber, the leading man in batting average in the Frontier League. And he slaps this pitch foul into the seats. There were some fans there. That was a sharp foul ball down the first base side. And a few of them had to duck, or else a young lady would have been smacked in the head with the baseball. Luckily, everyone's okay down there.
Burlington Bees, is that
independent in the
independent?
In the, I believe it's the same league with the Somerset Patriots.
Oh, okay, back in Jersey.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 0-1. Grieshaber lines this one to right field, playable for Ramirez Jr. for out number 1.
Now, if you notice, he got jammed. It was a high pitch up by his letters inside, and if you notice, his elbows got locked into his chest, and that's why he didn't get a fluid swing.
That'll bring up Ryan Long, the third baseman, who hit a 2-run shot over the right field fence in Windy City yesterday. And I think Ryan needed that because he was in a bit of a slump heading into yesterday's game. Runner on first and Cronin as starting pitcher Seabold fakes a throw over to first and will step back on the mound.
If you notice, it was just a lob. That might have been just setting him up. Mm-hmm. When you see a pitcher lob over there, you know he's got something better.
Seabold, the left-hander on the mound, checks Cronin at first. Kicks and fires. First pitch to Long is a called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to the former Texas Tech Red Raider.
One of the things I used to do in Major League Spring Training down there in Florida or Arizona was I would time the pitcher's throw to first base, and it'd be like 1.2, then 0.98, then all of a sudden.
The second pitch to Long is low and away again for a strike, hitting that outside corner once more.
Yeah. So
now it's an 0-2 count to Ryan Long.
And the third pickoff might have been 0.80, and you say, hey, that's his best. So don't be gambling on the 1.2 pickoff.
I don't know if Seabold should gamble on a pitch right down the heart of the plate to Ryan Long. He has shown his home run ability. We've seen it here, and we were able to see it on the road as well.
I hope Ryan don't get an outside low curveball.
Umpire calls time late as Long called time right when the pitcher released the ball from the mound. Apparently, according to home plate umpire Preston Childers, Long was able to call time in time before pitcher Seabold was able to release the ball from the pitcher's mound. 0-2 the count to Ryan Long. David Cronin on first base for the Otters with 1 out. Kicks and fires for the 0-2. Hit him.
He got hit inside pitch.
Cronin left off for second, steal, and it won't matter now because Ryan will trot down to first base. Hopefully his elbow's all right.
I think on that particular pitch, if Ryan wasn't hit, Cronin had second base stolen easily. He was off and running.
Yeah, he had a really good jump
before the pitcher released the ball.
That'll bring up Mitchell Hansen, who hit 2 home runs in the previous series against the Thunderbolts, including a 2-run homer yesterday to give the Otters a 12-2 win. The first pitch to Hansen is inside for a strike.
Now, Hansen and Long are the home run leaders on
the Otters, yes.
The Otters both have 2.
Yes. Long is second in the Frontier League in RBIs with 7.
Yeah.
Including the 3-run homer we saw on opening night. Second pitch to Hansen is way inside and high. Count now even at 1.
Well, he got that home run the first night, then he got a base hit RBI the second night. His parents were here, and his grandparents were here.
That's right.
And I know they're back in Chandler listening to us. Chandler, Texas.
That's right. It's probably just as humid down there as it is here at Bosse Field. The 1-1 to Hansen. Fly ball, shallow right field. Second baseman Pintor goes under it to make the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up Carlos Castro, who gave everyone confidence yesterday. He led off the first inning with a 3-run homer that set the tone for the Otters' 12-2 win on Thursday against the Thunderbolts. And another fun fact, he was my roommate on the trip too. And he played in the Atlanta Braves organization. He hopes to get back there as the native from the Dominican Republic steps into the batter's box. Men on first and second for the Otters. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Castro. There's a throw down to third base, and it is safe. Ryan Long safe with a stolen base, and Andy McCauley called a double steal on that particular situation. Cronin now on third, Long at second. Still 2 outs, but now Carlos has a big opportunity to cash in with an RBI.
Now, what the catcher did, we had a double steal, as you say. Cronin was on second. He was off and running. Ryan was on first. He didn't break until the ball was released. That's why the catcher throws the second and not the third, because the trail runner always is slower, thinking a ball's going to go to third.
Well, Ryan particularly isn't that slow of a runner. He's a very athletic, probably the most athletic guy on the Otters team. As a pop-up foul and out of play from Castro, counting out even at 1.
And his mother makes wonderful baked cookies, too.
Oh, does she?
Yes.
Wait, were those the cookies that we had the other day?
Oh, you ain't kidding. Chocolate chip and raisin, and I tell you, they were delicious. I know everyone in the press box enjoyed them.
Yes, especially myself.
Right. We always share. Whatever we get, we share.
Yeah. I try not to have the whole box.
Right.
The 1-1 to Castro is a foul ball down to the first base line and out of play. We got a really good crowd tonight.
Yeah.
As it is Big Brothers Big Sisters night here at Bosse Field, and we had 7 people, 7 children as a matter of fact, throw out the first pitch, the inaugural first pitch today before the game.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say something else. 7 people in attendance in Chicago.
Well, in the rain delay, after play resumed, there probably was only 7 people in the stadium.
I had to listen to Paul Mattingly's music.
The 1-2 to Castro. It's a foul ball into the net behind the catcher, Pritchard. And the count will remain at 1-2 to Castro. So as a batter in this particular sequence, you get 2 strikes, so you're swinging at anything that's close. So do you think Carlos is trying to do the same thing?
Oh, yeah. You got to protect that plate when you got 2 strikes. You got to be a defensive hitter. In other words, just meet the ball. Don't try to knock it over the fence. Just put it in play.
Cronin at third, Long at second. 1-0 Florence, but the Otters have a golden opportunity right here. Seabold, the left-handed pitcher on the mound, wipes the perspiration off his forehead.
And he's still wearing a Dominican sleeve on his arm.
Yes. So the catcher, Pritchard, walks out to the mound to talk to Seabold, and Seabold's been working fairly slow on the mound. I don't know about you, Bill, but I'm a guy who likes a pitcher to work very quickly. Like, once he gets the ball back from the catcher, he wants to throw the next pitch. I don't know about you, but that's how I like my pitchers.
Well, each one is different. One of the mistakes I made when I went into pro ball, as a catcher, I treated all pitchers the same. And you can't. One you pat on the back, one you scream and yell, and the other one depends on the time of the day.
Right. Men on second and third for the Otters. The 1-2 to Castro. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Otters leave 2 as we head to the top of the second. 1-0 Florence. And you're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vandenberg or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
Join me, Gina Moore, the Brown Sisters, and the Evansville Philharmonic Orchestra as we celebrate Indiana music legends at the Victory Theater on Sunday, May 19th at 4 p.m. Experience this tribute to Indiana icons with music by Cole Porter, John Mellencamp, and Michael Jackson, plus Thriller, Begin the Begee, Bohemian Rhapsody, and the Brown Sisters performing God Bless the USA. Order tickets online at evansvillephilharmonic.org or call 812-425-5050.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
And welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters down 1-0 as we enter the top of the second. Patrick McGuff still on the mound and does have a strikeout tonight, but he looks to have a few more and try to keep all these Florence Freedom hitters in check.
Well, the one run that they have is unearned, and again, it's just like in the first game, you know.
First pitch is a swing and a miss to the batter Taylor Bryant, the third baseman tonight for the Florence Freedom. 0-1 the count to Bryant.
As far as I'm concerned, he's pitching quite well right now. He's ahead of the batters, which he should be, and it's just a little...
The 0-1 inside for a ball. McGuff likes to work inside and outside, and that one appeared to be on the inside corner. Count even at 1.
He isn't using his most effective weapon, the curveball.
The 1-1 pitch as a line drive base hit into center field. It's another base runner aboard as that pitch looked to be right down the heart of the plate.
It was. It was a perfect pitch right down the middle, as you say, Dave. Now, here's the situation. Are we going to steal? Are we going to bunt? You might have seen him in exhibition play, but, you know, I haven't, so therefore I don't know what the manager's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you pay attention to little things like today, for the first time, I watched them take infield and outfield practice, something that is a no-no here in this league.
First pitch is a fly ball, left field, playable for Meggs. Takes a few steps back and gets the out for the first out of the inning to Mr. Austin Wobrock.
You know, you never know. You don't have infield outfield practices anymore, so you never know what kind of arms these guys got. Well, my observation of watching outfield practice today, I'll be honest, I will not take an extra base on the center fielder or the right fielder for this team. Both had excellent, accurate arms.
That's some good notes right there, Bill. That'll bring up Jackson Pritchard, the catcher for the Freedom, as the first pitch to Pritchard is high and outside for a ball. Count going to 1-0. And it seems that Grieshaber at short and Cronin at second base are playing towards second base in double play depth.
Yeah, and Cronin shading his eyes. The sun is directly in his eyes, so out there in right field as well.
Yeah, the sun might be in his eyes as the next offering from McGuff is a strike right down the middle. That pitch kind of dipped. It appeared, and then it kind of dipped low. Probably a good breaking pitch right there.
Yeah. It was either a forkball or a sinker.
Let's go with the sinker. 1-1 the count to Pritchard. McGuff agrees with the pitch.
There's the curveball. Yay.
Curve for strike 2.
See, he hasn't used it that much, and yet that's his secret weapon. And I don't mean Secret Weapon, who's home listening to the radio right now. Secret Weapon is one of our greatest fans. But I'm talking about
Is that the missus?
Secret Weapon.
Who's the Secret Weapon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Secret Weapon Bruce.
Okay. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field, and that will drop for a base hit. Coming around to third base and holding there is Bryant. And Pritchard stands at second base with a double.
I don't know if you paid attention to that one, Dave. That was a high inside pitch. Should have been a ball. And he tomahawked that. I tell you what, when guys hit that type of pitch, there's no tomorrow. I mean, back in at the Appalachian League one time, I saw a catcher tomahawk a ball that was over his head and hit it right out of the ballpark.
Unbelievable strength you must have seen right there. Is
unbelievable.
As Connor Crane, the first baseman, steps into the batter's box, and he leads the Freedom in RBIs with 5. The first pitch to Crane is fly ball, left center field will drop for a base hit. That'll score Bryant for 1, and coming around from second base to score is Pritchard, and the Freedom are on top by a score of 3-0.
That was the curveball, but it kind of hung up there, and that was, it looked like probably a basketball in his eyes, and he jumped on it, and he hit it in left center, and Cullen had no other choice but to get that to the fence. And
that was it was a good shot, but it died quickly enough to get the 2 runners home. As right. Hunter, he does have a lot of speed in center field, but the sun's in his eyes, and I don't know if he was able to see it right away. Good piece of hitting with runners in scoring position there for the Freedom, as the leadoff batter, Isaac Bernard, steps to the plate. 1 out here, men on second base for the Freedom, as they just scored 2 more runs on the RBI double from Connor Crane, who now has 7 RBIs. First pitch to Bernard is a called strike. 0-1 to count. McGuff, with the glove at his waist, will take a deep breath, kicks and fires for the 0-1. Foul ball behind the catcher Calabrese and out of play, moving the count to 0-2.
Now, this is Calabrese's 3rd game he's caught, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I believe so. Phillips is also a catcher, the designated hitter yesterday, who hit a 400-foot home run to center. Rizzatello has a bit of an injury. So.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh.
McGuff checks the runner at second as the batter, Bernard, calls time as McGuff was in his windup.
Yeah, I don't want to say any position, but I think Dakota, they ought to try to see if they could find some spot on a regular basis for him.
Well, Dakota is a utility player. The 0-2 pitch from McGuff is a ground ball to Grecier at short. Fields it with his glove, throws over to Castro in time for the out. He threw that rather quickly as he fielded it in his glove and then had to get the ball out of his glove quickly with his bare hand, kind of bobbled it a bit and threw it over to Castro in time as his forward momentum was carrying him towards first base.
Good call. That's exactly what happened. He bobbled the ball, trying to take it out of his glove. Tony Kubek, I don't think you ever knew who he was.
I don't think so.
He was a shortstop for the New York Yankees, later became a Yankee broadcaster.
Oh, yeah?
And Tony Kubek was not.
That'll bring up Mr. Pintor, who was hit by a pitch, stole second, and then after the overthrow by Calabrese, took third and later on scored on the sacrifice bunt. McGuff taking another deep breath on the mound, kicks and fires for the 0-1, and a swing and a miss by Pintor, making the count 0-2. There's a breaking ball right there, Bill.
2 curveballs in a row, and he's ahead by 2 strikes. Kubek was not a good fielder, but he always kept charging the ball, would bobble it, but still had his motion going to first and threw the run out, just like Keith did just then.
Next pitch from McGuff is low in the dirt for a ball. And Calabrese, the catcher, doing a good job of locating it between his legs and preventing the runner Crane from getting home.
You see, now, the the first run that was on a stolen base, which was the bad pitch, was just like that. So that's 2 bad pitches he bounced in the dirt. And I don't know if it's a hard-breaking slider or curve.
1-2 from McGuff is high and outside. It was just really high around the chest area.
Right.
And Calabrese looked down at first base,
you know,
for whatever reason, but throws it back to McGuff, and now the count is even at 2.
Sometimes the pitchers overthrow, and it might have gripped that curveball too hard, and that's why he's bouncing it.
The 2-2, fly ball out of play behind the catcher Calabrese.
You know, when the adrenaline is slowing and you got 2 strikes on the batter and you think, oh, I can get him out easily, and you overthrow the pitch, whether it's a curveball or a fastball or whatever, and generally it's not a strike because you're overthrowing it.
McGuff kicks and fires for the 2-2, swing and a miss for strike 3.
On the curveball. So
we'll head to the bottom of the second. Otters up to bat. They're down 3-0 as the Freedom put 2 more on the board. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Dave Gwynn and Bill McCune on the call. Otters down 3-0 as we enter the bottom of the second. And Jack Meggs steps into the dish, and the first pitch to Meggs is a called strike right down the inside corner. Meggs, a native of Sammamish, Washington, located outside of Seattle. And he leads the Frontier League in stolen bases. Meggs, ground ball to first, playable, and touching the bag is Crane for out number 1. That'll bring up Taylor Lane, the designated hitter tonight, who made a start in left field on Wednesday and then replaced Hunter Cullen on Thursday and was able to get a base hit.
What was the reason for the replacement?
I did not call. I didn't ask the trainer,
Okay.
Sarah.
Yeah, I know when you said it on the radio, and I was wondering what the heck is going on. You know, did he get hurt? Whatever.
He may have tweaked something as Lane swinging a miss for strike 1. Lane attending Arizona State University. And I don't know if you've ever been out there to Phoenix, and it's pretty hot out there too. As the next pitch to Lane is a swing and a miss for strike 2.
I spent many a spring training in the Phoenix. Yes, it is hot. Although I'll say this. Between Yuma and Scottsdale and Chandler and Phoenix, you get up in the morning and there's a chill in the air.
The 0-2 to Lane is fly ball down the first base line and into the stands and out of play.
There's a chill in the air, and by 8 o'clock, it kind of it warmed up. And with the San Diego Padres, we used to have to take a weigh-in completely nude every
0-2 pitch to Lane is foul down the first base line, and Crane trying to go under to make the catch, but the ball lands in the stands for a souvenir for a lucky child down the first base line.
Okay, you may not understand this, but let's say you weigh 210 and you get weighed in on the scale nude before spring training, before the practice.
Yeah.
Okay, you finish your practice at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you weigh back in nude, and you might be...
The 0-2 pitch. Ooh. On the outside corner, umpire Preston Childers calls it a ball. Lane with the 1-2 count.
You might have been 210 when you started, but you may be 202 now. You lost 8 pounds, and you did not realize.
Swing and a miss for strike 3 as Siebold throws a breaking ball for out number 2.
Yeah, you sweat, but you don't, and it dries up. It's a dry climate. And the only thing that you could indicate that you did any sweating would be the inside band of your hat. Otherwise, your clothing is completely dry, and yet you just lost 8 pounds.
Right.
That's why you take a weigh-in before and after.
Oh, I know. As Rob Calabrese steps into the dish, I played youth football, and as the first pitch to Calabrese is a called strike on the inside corner, 0-1 to the catcher from Staten Island, New York. But when playing youth football, I know the exact feeling. You weigh yourself in the morning, and then when you weigh yourself as the second pitch to Calabrese is a ball on the outside corner, count now even at 1. But when you weigh yourself in your undergarments, in a way you're much lighter. You take the weight from your clothes off, and when you run around in the sweat, whether it's Texas heat or Arizona dry heat, you'll be able to generate perspiration, lose some weight, and weighing yourself in that particular fashion, I completely relate to your situation.
Scottsdale, you don't know if you're in Phoenix or Scottsdale.
The 2-1 is a fly ball, and it hit the roof above us here, above home plate. Luckily, with the roof, everyone's all right. And the sad part of it all is I don't think a lucky fan's going to get the souvenir.
Anyway, you could be driving in Phoenix, and all of a sudden you're out in Scottsdale. And anyway, there was a restaurant called the Yellow Elephant.
Oh,
and
was it
they
good?
served the most delicious pork chops.
As
they were
Calabrese fouls this ball down the third base side and out of play. 2-2 the count to Calabrese.
That's what they were noted for. And you had to wait to get a table.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because you would have the Giants and the Milwaukee and the Padres and so many teams all had the spring training in that area.
Oh, in the Arizona League, right?
Yeah. No, this is spring training.
Yes. As a foul ball behind the catcher, Pritchard.
And there were so many pictures of major leaguers all over. People would sign their... They never asked me to sign my picture, though. I'm sorry. But it was a great restaurant.
I'm sure your autograph is worth quite a bit, Bill.
Well, it used to be in Don Mattingly's restaurant.
The 2-2, liner to short. Robrock throws it over to Crane in time for out number 3. Otters are retired 1-2-3 as we head to the top of the third. 3-0 Florence. Here you're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
Evansville Living Magazine presents a historic Newburgh Wine Fest. This two-day event will be held at the Old Lock and Dam Park in Newburgh, Indiana on May 17th and 18th, 2019. The wine tasting, fine local music, and a fabulous view of the river makes this a must-attend event. For more information, phone 812-853-2815 or visit historicnewburgh.org.
Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
And Bill McCune on the call. Otters find themselves down 3-0 as we head to the top of the third. Patrick McGuff still on the mound. He's got his curveball working. He's got his fastball working, but hasn't gotten the number of strikeouts that we saw in opening night. Still early. Otters haven't gotten their offense generated. They had 2 runners in scoring position in the first, but not much after that.
Well, he hasn't used the curveball that much. However, that double that did drive into 2 runs was a hanging curveball. So his best pitch it got hurt by, but yet one pitch you don't worry about. You just keep using it. So you want to be effective. You want to use the most effective weapon you got, and that's the curveball for Patty.
Here comes Ricky Ramirez Jr., who singled his first time up. First pitch from McGuff is a ball on the outside corner. I don't know about you, Bill, but that particular pitch looked like a strike.
I thought so too, and I was telling my wife the other night, listening to you, and
I appreciate
what the situation was.
The 1-0 from McGuff. Another ball high and inside, making the count at 2-0.
I think you were emphasizing you weren't sure ball, strike, or what the scoreboard had and whatever. And I said to my wife,
as the 2-0 from McGuff is way inside, that at time it appears that the batter Ramirez, the ball may have grazed his leg, or the bat grazed his leg. He landed kind of awkwardly as he steps back into the batter's box. McGuff kicks and fires for the 3-0, and that'll be a strike right on the inside corner. Count moving to 3-1. But go ahead.
Anyway, I said to if the umpire doesn't give any sign on the pitch, then it's a ball. If it's a strike, he will put up his hand.
The 3-1 from McGuff.
See, now there's the case. See, he didn't do
ball
anything.
4.
So it's a ball.
Yeah, there were some technical difficulties when I was in Windy City. At one point, the scoreboard operator and point streak person were the same person, and that just can't happen.
Yeah, I know you were having reference with the scoreboard and the count, and like I said to my wife, hey, if the umpire doesn't give you a sign, then it's a ball. He'll call a strike, and so then, but however, sometimes the scorekeeper or the one on the scoreboard doesn't see it, so that could be misleading.
The first pitch to Mercurio, the batter, is a strike on the outside corner, and it looked like McGuff, when he landed after throwing the pitch, his planting foot or his back foot landed kind of awkwardly on the mound.
Well, I was looking at the runner on first, and he was 3/4 or away from that bag, and he could have walked to second and then came back to first. And our catcher was still in his catching couch, catching the ball.
0-1 the count.
You see him jump? Too late.
McGuff will throw over to first. Castro's not in time with the tag.
You got to catch them when they're in the air because they can't stop. They float.
Mercurio, if you remember, Bill, the last time up, he had the sacrifice bunt back in the first inning.
Yep.
McGuff takes a deep breath, kicks and fires for the 0-1. That'll be a ball on the outside corner.
Right.
Count now even at 1 with no outs. Man on first for the Freedom.
With no outs, right.
Florence is tied for the West Division lead at a record of 4-2 with the Gateway Grizzlies. So this series is pretty important for the Otters as they are 3-3 and look to move up in the West Division standings. McGuff shakes his head a few times, kicks and fires for the 1-1 as a line ball to right field, and it will go foul.
Yeah.
That ball barely went foul. If that hit the line and went fair, that would have been at least an RBI. That ball was teetering with the foul line down on right field, and luckily for McGuff, it's a long foul ball, moving the count to 1-2 with no outs.
That was that pitch I keep emphasizing. That's low and inside, and the left-hand batters give you the golf swing, and that's why he hit it pretty good. But they don't hit it very often with that swing. Tiger Woods swing.
As McGuff throws over to first to keep Mr. Ramirez Jr. in check. Excuse me. Speaking of Tiger, the recent golf tournament that's going to be played Tiger didn't qualify.
Really?
Yeah.
After he got the green jacket?
Yes.
Wow.
He had a +5, and it wasn't good enough to qualify. His swing and a miss for a strike 3 as McGuff uses the breaking ball on that one. And 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. That'll bring up Caleb Lopez, the designated hitter for the Florence Freedom. But yeah, after winning the Masters, he didn't qualify for this particular tournament. It's kind of a head-scratcher.
You know, our vice president here in
Joel
is a former professional golfer.
Is he really?
Yes.
The first pitch to Lopes as Calabrese throws down to second base. And landing there safely is Ramirez.
I want to say one thing. He got one heck of a jump. He was running. Remember I told you he keeps jumping there at first? Well, he didn't stop the one time. He kept running and had a tremendous jump. And I want to say one thing. That Calabrese, I didn't think he had a shot, and he threw a bullet down there to second. He really made it a boom-boom play. So Calabrese has got a pretty good arm.
He doesn't have a bad bat either. He had a few hits in the series against the Thunderbolts a couple days ago. Man on second now for the Freedom, 0-1, and that pitch is a called strike 2 on the inside corner of the plate. Looks like McGuff went off speed on that particular pitch.
Yeah.
0-2 the count with 1 out here at the top of the 3rd. Ramirez Jr., the man on second base for the Freedom. McGuff takes a deep breath on the mound, kicks and fires for the 0-2. Chopper to Cronin at second, throws it over to Castro to get the easy out at first, and there are 2 down here in the top of the 3rd. And that'll bring up Mr. Taylor Bryant, the third baseman, who fouled out to right field, he had the RBI single. Now, he had a single last time and later on scored off the RBI double from Connor Crane his first time up. Runner on third for Florence. 2 outs here at top of the 3rd. McGuff kicks and fires. The first pitch is right in there on the outside corner for a strike.
Now, go back now, Dave. How many curveballs have you seen Patty throw and have been extremely, extremely effective for strikes with that pitch?
I want to say all of them.
Yes. Well, there were 2 that were hard in the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But,
and the hanger.
Yeah.
That led to the RBI.
Right.
The next pitch is high and inside near the face of Bryant. That'll even the count at 1 with 2 outs. We got a really good crowd here at Bossy Field as it's Big Brothers, Big Sisters night here at a kind of a humid 85, 86 degrees. The sun is still out, and it's a great day all around for baseball. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
There's the curveball again. See how effective that is. And all right, now he's got 2 strikes and 1 ball. All right. Now you can take a chance of throwing that high fastball.
Or he has 4 pitches. The curveball is the one he's worked on the most over the summer, but he's got a fastball. Pretty sure he's got a changeup, and can't think of the 4th pitch that he has. Yes.
See, there
Next pitch is fouled down the third base line and out of play.
Right.
Count will remain at 1-2 to Taylor Bryant.
That might have been a slider. So therefore, then, what you're saying is maybe those 2 wild pitches he threw in the dirt might have been sliders then. All right.
Possibly.
Because they had good, quick bite to it.
Bryant will step back into the batter's box, but the count at 1-2. McGuff, who had the ball behind his back, puts it back in his glove. Will kick and fire for the 1-2 pitch.
Curveball.
That'll be a called strike 3. Curveball once more, Bill, as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Otters down by a score of 3-0. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Hey, it's Mixmaster Jones Capone. Be sure to check me out right here on 91.5 WUEV for Party Lights Uncut. Party Lights Uncut is the premier and longest running hip-hop and R&B show in the tri-state. Every Friday and Saturday night, midnight to 2, Party Lights Uncut plays the best in contemporary hip-hop and R&B from today's top artists. So be sure to tune in right here on 91.5 WUEV. Party Lights Uncut.
The Tin Fish Restaurant, located at 300 West Jennings Street in Newburgh, Indiana, is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu features salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. It can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. The Tin Fish Restaurant.
For those listening in Otterville land, well, you like that one, huh?
Otterville land?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
Well, all right. That's an old, that's going back to Mike's days. Way to go, Pill.
And we welcome you back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Hunter Cullen will lead things off for the Otters in his first plate appearance, and then it will bring up the top of the order. First pitch to Cullen is low and inside for a ball. Count at 1-0. So Otterville land.
Otterville, right. That's where we're at, in Otterville.
That's right. Next pitch to Cullen is low in the dirt for a ball. Count now at 2-0.
Bossy Field is in Otterville.
Ah, okay. We have a really good crowd here tonight, Bill. And
oh, well, when you see
the next pitch to Cullen is a called strike on the inside corner.
When you see the Bud Light Lime patio full, you know you got a good crowd. And they're up there sitting there. And I promised people in the past, if anyone catches a fly ball.
2-1 pitch to Cullen is ripped deep to right field.
That's a home
and
run.
that will be gone.
That's a home run.
Second home run of the season for Hunter Cullen, and he gets the Otters on the board. 3-1 Florence, as a shot was ripped right over the plumbers and steam feeders sign out there in right field, right near the Bud Light patio.
Yes, and I was about to say that I have in the past told people out there in Budland, because they're listening to us right now, and that anyone out there who catches a home run, I will gladly autograph it for them. No charge. And so that's, I normally get $10, $15 my son signature, but I'll autograph any ball out there free.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Yes. David Cronin will step to the plate, and after returning home, he comes back home to Bossy Field. As he lays down a bunt down the third base line, scooping it and charging it is Bryant, throwing it over to Crane for out number 1. I don't know about that decision, Bill. Do you think that was the right call?
Oh, it was a great call on Crone's part. The only thing is, third baseman was playing in, had a great arm, and I noticed that in infield practice, and scooped it up, bare hand, threw it, and just got him. But that was a good call. That's what we should do more. We should bunt more.
Keith Grieshaber will step to the plate, and I found out that as the first pitch from Keith is a ground ball to third, playable by Bryant on the one hop, thrown over to first, scoops it up, and
foul ball.
It's a foul ball.
Yes, it's a foul ball all the way. The umpire called it immediately. Of course, the batter can't see it.
Right.
And the third baseman can't take a chance, so he has to play. But it was fruitless in his effort to exhibit his arm.
So in these previous two plays, it seems that Bryant, the third baseman, has a really good arm and isn't afraid to flash the leather.
Right.
0-1 to count to Keith as takes the next pitch low and inside for a ball. Count now even at 1 with 1 out.
If you look at where Brandt is playing now, and when Cronin bunted, he would have got a base hit. See, but when Cronin was up, he was playing even with the bag, so that was the difference.
A called strike on the inside corner. Count now at 1-2 to Keith Grieshaber, who I found out had an astronomy exam earlier this morning.
Yeah, I heard you with that astronomy bit.
Swing and a miss, and now it's a foul as Grieshaber stays alive at 1-2 in the batter's box.
Well, I used to study the stars myself. Doris Day, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby. They were stars.
I don't know about you, Bill, but astronomy is arguably one of the hardest classes in a college curriculum. That's the one class, if I needed a natural science or a science class in general to graduate, that's the one class I would stay away from. Just too many big words and dealing with space and all that.
I'm not too good at that either. I've got a grandson that he's only, 11 years old, and he can pronounce everything.
Oh, wow.
I say it great.
The 1-2 to Grieshaber, chopped foul down the third base line and out of play.
He's in the 5th grade, and they estimate his reading ability as that of a sophomore in high school.
Oh, wow. So he's smarter than me.
Yes, and he's a baseball player. Got 3 hits the other night.
Nice. So Bald will step off the mound and readjust his positioning. He's working pretty slow out there on the mound. 1 out, Hunter Cullen hit a shot to right field to put the Otters on the board. Swing and a miss for a strike 3, and that'll be out number 2 as Grieshaber chases a breaking ball. That'll bring up Ryan Long to the dish, who has 2 home runs on the year, including one yesterday in Windy City.
Well, now Hunter has joined that crowd of Ryan and
Mitchell Hansen.
And Hansen, 2 home runs apiece.
First pitch to Long is high and outside for a ball. Count at 1-0 to the man who was formerly a Texas Tech Red Raider.
I'm going to say Ryan is going to hit between 14 and 18, 19 home runs a year.
As Long pop flies this down the third base line. Playable for Bryant. Can he find it? And he does. Locates it to make the catch for the final out of the inning. The Otters get on the board on a solo home run to deep right field by Hunter Cullen. We head to the top of the 4th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
WUEV is supported by listeners like you and by The Wind Down, located in Newburgh at 8666 Ruffian Lane, just off the Lloyd, next to Premier Tan. The Wind Down has a large wine selection, appetizers, and desserts, and is open Tuesday through Thursday, 3 to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 3 to 10 p.m. The Wind Down's number is 812-490-0066, and they are on Facebook. Thanks to The Wind Down for supporting 91.5.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
91.5 WUEV would like to thank the Boca Lounge for its support. Thursdays, get all the blues you can use with Bosco France and Friends at 6 p.m. Then at 9:30, it's open mic with the On Tap Project. The Boca Lounge, 1007 Parrott Street in downtown Evansville.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Gwynn and Bill McCune on the call. Otters down now 3-1 thanks to a Hunter Cullen solo home run. Lead off the top of the fourth is Mr. Austin Wolbrock, the shortstop for the Freedom. And his last time up, he flied out to left field. McGuff kicks and fires for the first pitch. Chopper to Cronin, fielded and playable for him as he throws over to Castro for out number one. That'll bring up Jackson Pritchard.
He jumped on that first pitch last time up. That was that hanging curveball, and like I said, he jumped on it.
Yeah, it blooped in that huge gap in left center field as Cullen at the time wasn't able to use his speed to get there. His first pitch to Pritchard is right down the heart of the plate for strike one. McGuff wastes no time in the 0-1 pitch. Chopper foul in front of the catcher Calabrese. Count now quickly at 0-2 with one out.
And that was that curveball, and he got away with that one too. That was a hanger. You know, when you throw that breaking pitch, you can't throw it up by a man's head and then loop it down around the letters, because that's a home run pitch. You got to throw belt-wise and then drop down.
The 0-2 from McGuff.
Like that.
Right down the heart of the plate for a strike three.
See, that's the curveball you got to throw. It goes across the belt like and then sinks.
I don't know. That last pitch was pretty by McGuff as there's two outs here in the top of the fourth. And that'll bring up Connor Crane, who hit the 2-run RBI double in the second inning.
Now that's his fifth. Do I have that right? 5 strikeouts for Patty?
Yes, sir. McGuff shakes off a couple signs from Calabrese. Kicks and fires for the first pitch of the at-bat. It's a strike. Oh, no, excuse me, a ball. High and inside. Count at 1-0. McGuff kicks and fires for the 1-0 pitch. That's a strike right on the outside corner. Count now even at 1 with 2 outs.
Now, I don't believe you keep records of what pitch these guys strike out on, but I know it's a third.
The 1-1 low in the dirt as the mask of Calabrese falls off his helmet. Count now at 2-1.
I know 2 out of the 3 that I'm positive of strikeouts on curveballs were called strikes. So if he's got 5 strikeouts, I know 3 of them have been on the breaking pitch.
It's been pretty effective, particularly his curveball as we are in the fourth. McGuff has the stuff. It's been a little bit of a struggle for him in the first couple innings, but hopefully he's settling in quite nicely as he kicks and fires for the 2-1. Inside, a little low. Count now at 3-1 with 2 outs.
Well, having 5 strikeouts for 4 innings, that's 1 strikeout plus per inning.
The 3-1 from McGuff.
Strike 3.
Right down on the outside corner, called strike 2.
Yeah, strike 2. I was jumping the gun, strike 3. I was so excited.
I think all of us are.
Wanting another strikeout.
That would bring the Otters up to bat. First, the 3-2 pitch. McGuff takes a deep breath on the mound. Kicks and fires for the payoff pitch. That a liner right at Ryan Long for out number 3. Good hops there from Long as he puts his glove right around his chest area to make the out. Otters come up to bat, find themselves down by a score of 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters Baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations, west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. First pitch to Mitchell Hansen is a called strike on the inside corner. Don't hold back, Bill. The Otters need to score a few more runs to take this lead as they find themselves down by a score of 3-1. Chopper down the first base line into the Otters dugout and out of play. Count now quickly 0-2 to Mitchell Hansen.
They're still in the game. It's a long game yet. We still have quite a few innings. 3-1 is not a bad game. It's not like you were down 5-0 in the first inning.
Oh, boy. I dealt with that the other day.
Yeah, I know it.
The 0-2 to Hansen is in the dirt. Count now at 1-2.
Yeah, all you need is a man on and a home run or two men on and a single, and before you know it, the game's tied.
We need to get a few base runners first, Bill.
Yes, that's what you need. Walk, an error, or base hit.
The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3 from Hansen and out number 1. That pitch was off speed, and I think Hansen was expecting a faster, or at least a fastball, and the pitcher, Seabold, got him with a off-speed breaking ball.
Yeah, you're right. And it was low, and he went after it down on his knee. And when you got to change your batting style to accommodate the pitch, it means that it doesn't mean it means it wasn't a good pitch.
Going to bring up Carlos Castro, who struck out swinging his first time up.
Right.
First pitch to Castro is inside for a ball. Count at 1-0.
Think of what
Seabold kicks and fires, and that's a swing and a miss from Carlos. Strike 1 is, I don't know about you, but that ball was way inside. It could have been ball, should have been ball 2.
That plus it was up around his eyeballs.
Seabold kicks and fires for the 1-1. Chopper to second, off a one hop, playable for Pintor, and gets it to Crane for out number 2. And that'll bring up Jack Meggs, who came into today's game as the leading guy in stolen bases in the Frontier League.
Really?
Yes,
I know he got 2 in that one game the other day.
Yes.
I know they stole third, and, I kept saying, why? I believe we were...
Andy was being aggressive on the base path yesterday. He was trying to get a win any way he could and get as many runs as possible.
Yeah, but when you're, you start the inning off.
First pitch to Meggs is in the dirt for a ball. Count at 1-0.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm giving you my opinion. You start the game off, and the runner gets on, base hit, or walk. So you sacrifice him to second. You give up an out.
Meggs pops this one to shallow right field. Be playable for the second baseman, Pintor, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no men left as the Otters are retired 1-2-3. We head to the top of the 5th. 3-1 Freedom, the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13th, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Bill, I don't know about you, but there are a handful of St. Louis Blues fans here in this press box and in this area. They have taken a 2-0 lead over the San Jose Sharks in the Western Conference Finals. Winner of the series goes to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I'm really, although I attended quite a few of the Iceman hockey down here in Evansville at the Ford Center, I'm really not that much of a hockey man.
Okay.
Although I've seen a lot of hockey up there in Madison Square Garden years and years ago.
Yeah. The first pitch
Rangers
to Mr. Isaac Bernard is a called strike from McGuff. Next pitch is lined down the third base line and will drift foul as Ryan Long can't get there. Count moves quickly to 0-2. Top of the fifth, 3-1, Freedom to score. Patrick McGuff still in the game for the Otters, and he has a quick 0-2 count right here. And that's what he's liked for the most part, getting two strike counts to the opposing batters. Kicks and fires for the 0-2, and that's high and outside for a ball. Count now at 1-2.
I think he's pitching a pretty good game so far, outside of, 1, 2, 3 hits?
Yeah,
5
3
strikeouts?
Yep, 3 hits for 3 runs, sadly.
Yeah.
1-2 is fly ball, left field, playable for Meggs. He calls it and makes the catch for out number 1.
And where's Greasehaver? Was all the way out there to the left field line, pretty near to the fence. Hey, that's what you call hustle. I'll tell you what, I like him at shortstop. Well, I'll rephrase that. I like him. He's a pretty good hitter. Struck out for maybe second time since he's been in the lineup.
Yeah, he's doing whatever he can to play, and you know, he's producing both in the batter's boxes. Fly ball, left field, way back in. Meggs does not make the catch. That'll be ruled a double, says the official scorer here in the press box, as Pintor lined that deep to left field. Meggs was able to handle the ball and throw it back to shortstop Greasehaver in time to prevent a triple. And that'll bring up Ricky Ramirez Jr., who singled in the first inning and he walked in the third. And Ramirez, when on base, we've seen early in this game, can be very effective on the base path. Another runner in scoring position for the Freedom as they lead this one by a score of 3-1 over the Otters. Ramirez Jr. calls time, and Bill, today in 1992, Gary Carter with the Expos joins Bob Boone and Carlton Fisk in the exclusive 2000 Games Caught Club.
Yep, I remember him. Yeah, I remember Carter. I never liked him.
Chopper to Castro. He takes it himself and taps the bag for out number 2.
Yeah, with Montreal. Yeah. You did mention pretty good catch. Oh, I know there was something I was going to tell you about.
As Mercurio steps to the plate, Andre Mercurio, the center fielder. Go ahead, Bill.
You were talking about Steve Carlton the other day on the radio about what a great pitcher he was with Phillies, but also a better pitcher with the Cardinals.
I think my dad might disagree if he's listening.
I tell you what, when he was with the Cardinals, he was a 90, 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
First pitch to Mercurio is a called strike on the inside corner, 0-1 the count. But go ahead.
And I remember 1985, the second game that they played in the 85 season, because I was there at that particular game. The Padres were going to come in and play them. And Steve Carlton was pitching.
The next pitch is low and outside for a ball. Count now at 1-1. The Freedom have a man on third.
And his velocity went from 95 miles an hour to his best was 78.
Oh, wow.
But he knew how to pitch. That's why he was still in the major leagues.
I got to tell you, he was beloved in Philadelphia, and I think as a St. Louis native, some Cardinals fans regret giving him to the Phillies. As the next pitch is a called strike 2 in the outside corner. Looks like it was the curveball right there,
It
Bill.
was the curveball. Tri-State Hot Stove League, which my brother-in-law Joe Humphrey and I started back in 1990. We had Steve Carlton here as one of our speakers, and did a great job. And the Tri-State Hot Stove League raised over $1 million that they give to the high schools.
The 1-2 from McGuff is lined down the first baseline and foul towards the bullpen of the Evansville Otters, and the count will remain at 1-2 to Mr. Mercurio.
They raised over $1 million, and they give the money to the high school and college baseball programs and other needed organizations that need a helping hand, plus a scholarship, 4-year scholarship to a baseball player every spring.
Oh, wow, that's a wonderful organization you had right there, Bill.
Well, yes, it was, and we started it because it was all ex-minor leaguers.
The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss as Mercurio falls for the high cheese, and out number 3. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. Otters find themselves down by a score of 3-1. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at myMarathonStation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Evansville Otters play here on 91.5 FM WUEV.
Win and Bill McCune on the call as the Otters head to the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to Taylor Lane is line shot to left center field, and that will be caught by
Center fielder.
Center
caught that
fielder
one way there
Mercurio.
in left center. It was
Mercurio.
pretty good shot.
Yeah, Mercurio for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, underneath the scoreboard. And the scoreboard is about 395 feet away, and that was right a little in front of that, Dave. So it had to be at 387 feet.
Well, left center and right center are 385, so probably around 380.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Rob Calabrese, the catcher. 0 for 1 tonight. First pitch to Calabrese is a called strike on the outside corner.
I'd like to say hello to my wife, who's home in bed listening to the game.
Oh.
Unfortunately, can't be here. And
how's she doing? She doing all right?
Yeah, she's having a rough time in life. But anyway, she's listening to us.
Oh, we appreciate her support. As Calabrese fouls this ball down the third base line and out of play.
Yeah, we spent over, an hour and a half this morning in pain management
Oh, my gosh.
facility. And she's coming along. But anyway, she'd love to be here, you know. What I think Bill Bussing misses from her is every game she always ate one of his favorite ice creams.
Oh,
so Bill's losing money by not having her here.
0-2 the count to Calabrese. The 0-2 pitch is a swing and a miss, but the catcher can't field it cleanly, throws it down to first to get the out. And it'll be out number 2 in the inning. So I think that particular play counts as a strikeout, and then it's a 2-3
Put out by the first
put out.
baseman.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Hunter Cullen, who had the solo home run to get the Otters on the board.
Catcher would get an assist on that. Pitcher gets a strikeout, and it's 2-1 or 2-3. Catcher gets an assist.
Cullen, a really good all-around baseball player, and the Otters are lucky to have him on their roster. He's got a lot of speed in center field. He knows how to steal bases. He's now hitting 300, or 312, excuse me, with that home run. The next pitch to Cullen as he shows bunt is a ball.
Wasn't his parents here the first series?
They may have been. I haven't introduced myself to everyone. I've only met the Cronins.
The Cronins were here, the Longs were here, the Mitchells were here. I was thinking.
The 2-0 to Hunter is way inside and in the dirt. Count now at 3-0. Hunter attended baseball at arguably one of the best baseball factories on the West Coast in Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, yes, you're right. They're one of the top baseball schools in the country. You're right.
The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4, as that pitch was low and in the dirt. Otters have another base runner.
You know, one of the first things I ever learned, Dave, in going to California as a young man, and I looked, and I was walking down the street, and the other scout said to me, you're looking at the sidewalk, aren't you? And I said, yeah. He said, you don't see any cracks. I said, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. He says, you're in California. We don't have that cold weather, so that when you get a crack in the ice or on the concrete, it opens up the sidewalk.
Right. David Cronin will step into the dish, and maybe third time's a charm for him to get a hit. He's walked, and he grounded out to third base his second at-bat.
Ooh, nice curveball.
As it's called for a strike from Seabold. Count at 0-1 to David Cronin with 2 outs. And the Cronins are avid listeners to the Otters games, and they personally wanted me to tell you that they are big fans of you.
Oh, well, thank you kindly to those out there in Otterville land and beyond. Thank you.
The 0-1 to Cronin is low and outside for a ball. Count now even at 1.
Well, what I've been known as a in college, it's a BS. I won't say what else it is.
A Bachelor of Science?
Yeah, something like that.
1-1 to Cronin, and as he fouls this ball down the left field line and out of play.
It was a good pitch to hit, but Hunter had second base stolen. What a jump he had.
He's got wheels. He stole 12 bases last year, and I feel like he could have stolen more.
You know, Andy in the past hasn't been very aggressive on the bases. I think one year they had like 37 or 39 stolen bases for the team. It wasn't many at all.
Oh, no? What's an average amount of stolen bags for a baseball club?
Oh, I'd say if you have 50 to 80, there goes
1-2 as Cronin lines this into center field for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Cullen, and the Otters have men on the corners with 2 outs. Hunter, as soon as Cronin put contact on the baseball, he was already at second. So as soon as the ball lined and dropped into center field, Cullen easily went to third. And this is a golden opportunity for Keith Grieshaber to get an RBI for the Otters.
Well, that was a line drive hit to center field, 1 or 2 hops, and under normal circumstances, Hunter being on first base, as far as he would have ever gotten was second. However, as you say, he was on the run, and therefore hit second base just as the outfielder was a step or 2 away from getting it, so he could coast into third base easily.
So third time is a charm once more for David Cronin. And the Otters are now threatening the manager for the Freedom, as well as the entire infield is huddled around Scott Sebald. As you know, it's an important situation for both teams.
Right.
Now, for the most part, Sebald has pitched fairly well, but this is a big spot for the man who, coming into this game, led the Frontier League in hits and batting average.
Well, all we need is a base hit, and we'll be back in that game. We're in it now, but we'll be in a better situation with another run.
Second baseman Pintor plays closer towards second base. As the first pitch to Keith is a ground ball to second base, and Pintor, playing that pitch perfectly, tags second base for out number 3. The Otters leave 1 man in scoring position, 2 men left as we head to the top of the 6th. 3-1 Freedom the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just 1 room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We head to the top of the 6th. Patrick McGuff is still in the ballgame for the Otters, as the Otters missed out on a golden opportunity to get at least 1 run. They left men on first and third in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, they're getting base hits, and they're getting men on base, and they're doing a good job. And Patty's doing a pretty good job pitching out there. He's got, 6 strikeouts.
I believe so, as the first pitch from McGuff is low in the dirt for a ball. Count out 1-0 to Mr. Caleb Lopes, the designated hitter for the Freedom. Next pitch is outside for a ball. Appeared to be a strike from at least my point of view.
No, I agree with you, but he didn't put that arm up. So without that arm, it's a ball.
2-0, and here's the 2-0 pitch. Fly ball, shallow, near the dugout on first base side, and Calabrese can't get there to make the catch. Count moves to 2-1.
Now, that's something you don't see very often. Patty McGuff raced off that mound right to the Otter dugout. So it was a three-man race. Calabrese, first baseman, Castro, and McGuff. It was who was going to catch it, and it was out of reach for all three.
McGuff takes a deep breath on the mound, kicks and fires for the 2-1 pitch.
Oh, that is
Good breaking ball right there for a strike 2 on the outside corner.
You see, overall, he's pitching pretty good. He's ahead on strikes all the time. It's just that he hasn't gotten a break, or I shouldn't say he hasn't.
The 2-2, foul ball into the netting by the Otters dugout on the first base side. Count will remain even at 2.
The offense hasn't been there. I mean, actually, on that road trip outside of yesterday's bowl game, they didn't have that much offense either. So they've got to start swinging those bats a little better.
The 2-2 from McGuff is a pop-up in the infield, and McGuff will call off the infielders and make the catch for out number 1. So would that be, what, F1 on the putout?
Yeah, F1, yeah. And McGuff had to catch it because it was so short that third baseman Long or Castro, there was no way they could have gotten there to catch it.
That'll bring up Taylor Bryant, the third baseman for the Freedom. Bryant, a native of La Quinta, California, as Bryant takes a first pitch strike right on the inside corner. McGuff with an 0-1 count. We've seen a lot of 0-1 counts to start off batters from McGuff.
Yeah. 0-1, 2-1. McGuff has been ahead all night.
The 0-1 from McGuff. Check swing, doesn't matter. Called strike 2.
Now, that was the slider. There was no doubt about that. That was a slider, and that was a beautiful pitch.
0-1 to Bryant. McGuff kicks and fires for the 0-2. Fly ball, left field, and it will go foul.
Yeah. You know, Dave, as a batter, when you can see that red spot, it's a curveball. If you can't see that red spot, it's either a fastball or a slider. But a curveball, it's going this way. You can see that red dot. And the red dot is nothing but the red stripes or stitching on the ball.
Got it. Count remains at 0-2. One out here in the top of the 6th. The 0-2 from McGuff. Inside for a ball, way inside. Count at 1-2. Well, Bill, today in 1941, the city of Philadelphia and the state of Pennsylvania declare a legal holiday to honor the A's manager on Connie Mack Day at Shibe Park. Check swing, did he go? The first base umpire says yes, he did, for a strikeout. Out number 2 as Austin Wobrock, the shortstop, enters the batter's box.
That was Bryant's second strikeout, and it gives Patty 7 for the day.
That's right.
Do you know what Connie Mack's right name was?
I don't.
Constance, sorry. Oh, boy, now I can't think of it. McGillicuddy, anyway.
First pitch from McGuff is a called strike on the inside corner.
Cornelius McGillicuddy.
Cornelius McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
The 0-1 from McGuff is a foul ball down the third base line into the netting and out of play. Count now quickly at 0-2.
Managed his last game when he was 87 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My brother's out to beat that. All my brother has to do is manage one game.
Oh, yeah?
For the Washington Nationals, and he'll be the oldest. Jack would be 88. Jack's 88 right now.
Okay. He's an advisor right now for the Nationals, right?
He's a special advisor to general manager, yeah.
The 1-2 from McGuff is swing and a miss. Gets Wobrock on the high cheese, and that'll end the top of the 6th.
8 strikeouts. That's not bad.
Not at all. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Otters find themselves down 3-1. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Since 1994, Slay's Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slay's Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slay's Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
The Tin Fish Restaurant, located at 300 West Jennings Street in Newburgh, Indiana, is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu features salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. It can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. The Tin Fish Restaurant.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Otters down 3-1. And if there's any guy on the Otters to get a rally started, it'll be this guy, Ryan Long, as he steps to the dish. Oh, yeah. First pitch to Long is low in the dirt for a ball. Count at 0-1. Long was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Then he flied out to the third baseman where Bryant made a really good play in foul territory to get the out. Next pitch to Long is a called strike on the inside corner. Count at 1-1. So I don't know if you remember me saying this on the broadcast, Bill, but Ryan is a really, really good athlete. The 1-1 pitch to Long is a ball outside. Count now at 2-1.
No, I'll agree with you, but I think one of the biggest problems he's facing this year, he's taking a lot of third strikes or a lot of strikes altogether, and that you can't do.
The 2-1 is a called strike right on the outside corner.
That's what I mean. Too many this year. He's taken too many strikes. He's got to be a little more aggressive at that plate. And with 2 strikes, he's swinging some bad pitches as well.
The 2-2 to Long. Ooh, that was inside, but too close to call.
Right.
Count at 3-2. But in high school, he was a quarterback, defensive back, kicker, punter. He was a point guard and shooting guard on the basketball team, and he played shortstop, third, and the outfield.
I would say he should be in this school's Hall of Fame.
Oh, 100%. The 3-2 pitch to Long. Check, swing. Did he go? Umpire
no
Bob
way.
Davis says no.
No way.
And Long is aboard with a walk.
Well, that starts the rally.
And that'll bring up Mitchell Hansen, who struck out his last time up.
Just a quick note, you were talking about Connie Mack and the old Philadelphia A's. They played in that baseball park in the north side that you could take a train out of Trenton, New Jersey, and go right to the north side station and walk up a couple blocks and be there at the game.
That's right.
That's what I used to do.
Hansen flies this one foul down the first base side and out of play.
Yeah, as a young man, we used to be able to take a train to Trenton, New Jersey, then get on another train, take it to
Philly?
Philly, the north side, walk a couple blocks.
Was it Franklin Field or near Franklin Field at Penn?
No, I can't remember the name of the field.
Okay.
It was the old Philly Park anyway.
Got it.
But I'll tell you a quick story.
The 0-1 to Hansen is, wow, called strike in the outside corner. Bill, I don't know about you, that pitch was pretty low.
Yeah. There was a American Legion championship game there at the old ballpark, and somebody parked right in front. There must have been 50 cops all around guarding all the parking spots and all.
Oh, wow.
When the game was over,
the 0-2 to Hansen is a Fly ball, left field in foul territory, and Bryant can't make the play as the ball goes into the seats.
You can't believe this. And when the game was over, there was a car parked out in front of the stadium that had no wheels.
Oh, wow.
Somebody stole all 4 wheels, and you had nothing but like 50 cops in that area.
So you
it
knew.
was just unbelievable.
So you knew about the mischief in Philadelphia way before I did.
Hell yeah.
Hanson, the Plano, Texas native, with an 0-2 count, and here's the payoff
Strike
pitch.
three.
It's a strike 3, but the catcher can't
what
field
a
it.
bad mistake.
Throws it down to second base to try to get Long. Instead of making the easy play to first.
Oh, you
so
ain't kidding.
It's a strikeout, but the throw down to from the catcher Pritchard. All right, so we're getting the official score from our guy Alex Gould, doing a great job here, and the official scoring is because there was an occupied base already. The batter was out, so Ryan goes down and back to the dugout.
You know, the official score caught us on that, and I got to admit, I made a mistake.
Excuse me, Hanson is out.
It's out, right.
Long will go to second on a stolen base.
Right, but Zane just reported that I have to stay in after school because I made a mistake.
Oh, did he?
Oh.
Will he learn you something?
You ain't kidding. I did make a big mistake. It just shows. That's why they put erasers on pencils.
Yes. Carlos Castro to the dish. His first pitch was fouled down the first base line and out of play. Count now quickly to 0-1.
Ladies out there in Otterville, how quick the official scoring keeper jumped up and came running over to us and said, "Hey, you're wrong."
Alex does a great job, and he's one of the voices of the Purple Aces at the University of Evansville.
Well, I think he was a ball player at one time, was he not?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He really does love baseball.
Yep.
That's probably one of his loves is he's wearing a New York Mets jersey here in the booth.
Well, I was telling you about the Tri-State Hot Stove League giving that scholarship. The University of Evansville coach was one of the recipients of that scholarship.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I used to go over to the administration building and give him a check every spring and every fall.
Oh, wow.
Or every spring, fall, and whatever. Twice a year, put it that way.
Got it. Ryan Long on second base for the Otters. 1 out. 1-1 to count to Castro. Swing and a miss. Make that strike 2. Castro was either really late on that pitch or that was a breaking ball and off speed.
Well,
there from Siebold.
It was off speed, and if you notice, you will notice further on that Castro is a sucker for an off-speed pitch. He goes jumping after him, and he never hits him.
Siebold checks Long at second, who's got a pretty good lead out there, not dancing with the pitcher.
Oh!
That pitch was, whoa.
What happened?
That slipped.
Yeah, but...
It went over the head of both the catcher Pritchard, Castro the batter, and home plate umpire Preston Childers.
There had to be timeout because Ryan never moved. I mean, he automatically would have gotten third base.
100%.
There had to be timeout, and that must have been he was in the act of throwing.
The 1-2 to Castro, swing and a miss, strike 3. That pitch was breaking in the dirt. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And that'll bring up Jack Meggs, who went to the University of Washington. He is a Husky. Washington has become one of the better schools out in the West for baseball. They, I believe they made the College World Series, last year.
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to those schools out there anymore.
Yeah, I think they did. They beat Cal State Fullerton in Fullerton to get to Omaha.
Well, Cal State is pretty good. USC is pretty good.
Yep. UCLA.
Of course, Arizona State every year.
Yeah. The first pitch to Meggs is foul and out of play. I believe, did Barry Bonds go to Arizona State? I know. Excuse you, Bill.
I don't know about Bonds, to be honest. But I'll tell you, one of the outstanding college baseball programs is Miami.
Yes.
And the coach actually attended school here in Evansville.
Really?
Yes.
0-1 to count to Megs. Here's the 0-1 is a ground ball. The first baseman, Crane, he taps the bag himself for out number 3. Ryan Long left stranded on second as we head to the top of the 7th. 3-1 Freedom the scorers. You're listening to the Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Sheet Metal Workers Local 20 and SMACNA, the Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors National Association, have the most qualified sheet metal and HVAC contractors in the Evansville area. To find a list of our qualified union contractors, visit unionsheetmetalindustry.com.
Oh, you got this right.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call as McGuff trots out on the mound for the 7th inning for the Otters. He'll be facing 9-1-2. The batters for the Florence Freedom. That'll bring up Connor Crane, the leading RBI guy for the Freedom. McGuff goes back to work. The first pitch from McGuff is a swing and a miss. Off speed on that one. Count goes to 1-0. Or 0-1. 0-1. Next pitch is fly ball, left field and out of play. Count going quickly to 0-2.
That was a pretty good curveball, and he hit just right over the plate, and he uppercutted it. You know, I got to tell you a little story about that Chico sign out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice there, next to the Pepsi, there's a big hole in that sign.
Yes, it's for those who attempt to hit a golf ball through that hole, they will win a lot of money.
Oh, is that what it is? A golf ball
so.
through
Yes.
here? Okay.
As the 1-2 from McGuff, it hits him.
Oh, it hit the bat? Wow, what a break.
Yeah, it appeared to hit, from our point of view, it hit maybe the hand of Connor Crane. Instead,
Hit the knob.
Hits the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, the knob of it, yeah. Wow,
And
what
count,
a break.
Yep, count will remain at 1-2. McGuff will kick and fire for the payoff pitch. Foul right behind the catcher, Calabrese, and it seemed that Crane just nipped that ball foul.
Right. Aberdeen, South Dakota, there was a...
Aberdeen, South Dakota?
Yes.
Okay.
There was the cigarette Marlboro man down the right field, left field foul line.
The 1-2 from McGuff. Ooh, high and a bit away. Count now even at 2.
And if you hit him, you got $200.
No.
So I was playing with Eau Claire. We had a center fielder, left-hand hitter. He gets up and he hits it. And
the 2-2 from McGuff, foul ball, and out of play down the first base side.
So he wanted the $100 because that was what they advertised, $100 to hit that sign. So they said, oh, no, that was only for home teams. That was only for the home team.
The 2-2 from McGuff, swing and a miss, strike 3.
I tell you what, he is on that strikeout path now.
He's got 10.
Yeah. 2 more and he'll have 12.
He'll tie what he did the other night.
Yeah.
As that was Pritchard who was up. So, yeah. Here now is Connor Crane. The first pitch to Crane is a ball on the inside corner. McGuff kicks and fires for the 1-0. Strike right down Main Street. Count now even at 1 with 1 out.
What a beautiful breaking pitch, and he just watched that go across that plate. Wow. I'll tell you what, Patty has got a breaking pitch tonight. Well worth Major League.
The next pitch is a swing and a miss, and that was high and inside. Count now at 1-2.
Well, anyway, to try to tell you that story, our center fielder hit the Marlboro man and wanted his $100, and they said, no, it's only for the home team. So he didn't get it. Later in that series, he hits it again. So now the fans demanded they give him the money. So he ended up getting $200.
Oh, wow. The 1-2 for McGuff, high and inside.
But how many times can you, I mean, here you are at the foul line, and you got a big sign, hit me and win $100. How many times can you do it? Here, one of our center fielder hits it twice in the home at 3-game series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he had one kidney. That was the funny part. The center fielder had one kidney.
The 2-2 from McGuff. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That's number 10.
There we go. That'll bring up Isaac Bernard, the left fielder for the Freedom.
Yeah, the center fielder, he'd play maybe 2-3 weeks, then he'd be hospitalized for a day or two, come back, another couple of weeks, he'd be back in the hospital. He was from Texas, center fielder. Never got over. I mean, that was the end of his career as high as it was Class C baseball.
Mm-hmm. First pitch from McGuff is Bernard shows bunt, pulls his bat back, and yet it's still a strike. 0-1 the count to Bernard.
You know, if you were to say, and I'm talking, it's still early. We're in the 7th inning. If you were to say who was the most MVP, if I could say it that way.
The 0-1 is a swing and a miss to Bernard.
Who was the MVP for the Otters in this game? You've got to give it to Patty.
100%.
I mean, here he is, 6 innings, or actually in the 7th. He's got 10 strikeouts. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's doing a fantastic job. Curveball is magnificent.
Kicks and fires for the 0-2. The high and away for a ball.
You know, he should go into that dugout and grab a couple players by the shirt sleeve and put them up against the wall and say, hey, I'm doing my job, you do yours. And then let them sit down.
The 1-2 from McGuff. Ooh, that one appeared to be a strike. Instead, it's a ball. 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
I actually did that in a college game.
Did you?
Yeah, I picked up one of the kids, put him up against the wall, and I told him,
yo.
Yeah, it was in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
2-2. That pitch is high and outside. Count now full.
I have to admit, it was my son.
You held your son up by his shirt against the wall and said,
One
hey.
hand. Boom. Yes.
So you meant business then, huh,
You
Bill?
ain't kidding.
The 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, right field. Pretty deep, and that ball is gone.
No, outraced by
Did he
Hunter
catch?
Cullen.
I couldn't see the wall and the netting's kind of blocking my view, but great catch out there by Hunter Cullen.
He threw it in overdrive, ran as hard as he could, got by the fence. He made a beautiful catch. So it's 3 outs.
Stretch time here at Bossy Field. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. 3-1 Freedom to score. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
7th inning stretch time. Get up and move wherever you are, unless you're driving the car.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Quinn and Bill McCune on the call. Bottom of the 7th, Otters down by a score of 3-1. First pitch from Seabold to Lane is a liner. Base hit into left center field.
Should be 2.
Rounding first, heading to second is Lane.
He better hustle.
He's to get there and doesn't time. The relay throw from the center fielder overthrown.
I don't know about
As
Lane.
Mercurio in center field overthrows Pintor, and Lane leads off this inning with a double.
I tell you what, we're lucky. If you notice Lane going into second base, he was coasting. He did not run hard. A perfect throw, and he would have been out. Oh, boy, you got to hustle. You can't take anything for granted.
That'll bring up Rob Calabrese. No outs. Lane leads off with a double. Sebald will check Lane at second. First pitch, a ball low to Calabrese. No, but Bill, I agree with you. If he didn't get there any faster, he probably would have been out. I think he should have been out.
Trying a perfect throw, he was out because, I mean, he was halfway to second and he was kind of trotting. I'm saying, oh no.
Sebald checks Lane at second. Kicks and fires for the 1-0. A called strike right on the outside corner, evening the count at 1. I don't know how many opportunities you get in baseball, but right now for the Otters, this is a good one.
That's right. No outs, runners on second, and you're right. Ground ball to second would move him to third, allowing a base hit or a pass ball or a fly ball to score 1 run at least.
Calabrese calls time, and like Ricky Leday, he'll readjust his batting gloves. I don't know if you remember Ricky Leday, but he played for the Phillies, and after every pitch in his at-bat, he stepped out of the batter's box, unvelcroed and revelcroed his batting gloves. The 1-1, swing and a miss, off speed, pitch there from Sebald. Count at 1-2.
Good call. It was off speed, and Calabrese should be thinking of hitting the second base or hitting to the right side. Move that runner to third. In the meantime, look where the second baseman is. There's a hole that you could drive 3 semi-trucks through.
Oh, yeah, because second base, Pintor and Wobrock are playing towards second base to try to hold the runner Lane. They're inching towards second base, so there's a huge hole on the first base side between first and second.
Right. Yeah, here's where, you know, when my brother was the general manager of the San Diego Padres, he used to keep records of situations exactly like this where the batter would give up a base hit or give up at a time at bat, lower his average, but move the runner over. Jack made notice of that, and when it came contract time, he gave them a few extra dollars because they were team players.
2-2 the count to Calabrese. Sebald checks Lane at second and throws a pitch right near the heart of the plate, and Calabrese gets lucky on that one. It's called a ball. Count now full at 3-2.
You know, when I used to catch, I used to get in a catch position something like this guy here, but only when there was no one on. When there's runners on, you better be in a position to block those low pitches and move. And this guy, I don't think can. His agility, in my opinion, is limited. If you notice, if he's resting on one leg down there, unless he's got Superman ability to move quick.
I don't know if anybody has that ability.
Well, I did.
Oh, did you? You can fly?
In a way, yes.
The 3-2 to Calabrese. Ball 4, take your bases. That one was low and in the dirt. Runners now on first and second for the Otters. And Hunter Cullen, the home run man in this game, the only man to put a run on the board for the Otters, steps to the dish with another really good opportunity. Last time he walked, and if you remember, Bill, he stole second and rounded third, or stole second and rounded it to get the third rather easily on the David Cronin single in the fifth.
Right. Are we going to change pitchers?
Let's see.
Well, the umpire in second base, generally.
There are a couple men that are standing in the bullpen for the Freedom down there on the left field line. The manager brings in everyone to the pitcher's mound, at least everyone on the infield.
Right, but you see the umpire on the bases? He's still out there in shortstop. He's the guy that would have called that pitcher in, so he would have been in on that conference. That indicated you're not changing pitchers.
So if you're a manager in this situation, if you're the Freedom, what are you telling your infield? Because it's men on first and second for the Otters and no outs.
What am I telling? I'm going to tell the third base and first base and heads up for the bunt.
Okay.
I'm going to tell my second base shortstop, stay back for the double play.
And that's exactly what they're doing is the third baseman, Bryant, first baseman, Crane, step onto the infield grass. Hunter, in a situation like this, has been successful on a bunt. And he shows bunt down the third base line. Bryant throws it over to first in time for the out, but good job there by Hunter Cullen to make the sacrifice bunt.
Now, I want to make make a statement with you, Dave, because you and I are working for the first time this year. In the past, many of the Otter players on a sacrifice bunt were running to first base. They were trying to get on base as well, so they really weren't sacrificing. They were looking for a base hit. In this case, you just saw Hunter do the right thing. He stayed at that plate, laid the bunt down, then he ran.
Okay.
He did what he was supposed to.
That's good smarts there by Cullen. Advances both runners in Lane and Calabrese to second and third with one out. David Cronin to the dish. He had a single his last time up. And he takes the first pitch high and outside for a ball. Cronin, a very successful leadoff man for the Otters last year, making the All-Star team. The man from Orland Park, Illinois. Sebald working slowly throughout this game on the mound. Takes a deep breath. He'll kick and fire for the 1-0. That pitch is way inside for a ball. Count now at 2-0. As Cronin steps out of the batter's box to readjust his batting gloves. Keith Grieshaber on deck. We've got a really good crowd here tonight at Bossy Field. Big Brothers and Big Sisters night. Sebald kicks and fires for the 2-0.
Inside.
That's way inside. 3 pitches, 3 balls.
Right.
Do you give Cronin the green light here?
No way.
Okay.
No way.
Do you think Mom and Dad would agree?
Well, I don't know, but I want the bases loaded.
Okay. That's fair. Men on second and third for the Otters, 1 out. Cronin with the 3-0 count. Sebald kicks and fires for the 3-0. That's a line shot into right field, and it will be caught. Tagging is Lane from third, and he'll head home to score as is an RBI for David Cronin. Otters within 1.
That was a good fly ball by Cronin, but I still wouldn't have given them the green light.
Okay.
That's something. In fact, if I may, in the 10 years that I've been up there broadcasting with Andy as a manager, that's one of the few times I ever seen swinging on a 3-0 count that ever benefited. Normally they strike, a ground out or fly out or something, but in that particular case it was successful. So
as Keith Grieshaber steps to the dish, and he's 0 for 3 tonight. If there's anybody who needs a hit, I think it would be Keith, and we got a good situation for him right now.
Well, I hope so, and
as the total attendance tonight is 2,215, said by PA announcer Mr. Zane Clodfelter.
Right. You know, I mentioned earlier that I wouldn't take the extra base on the center fielder or the right fielder. And you just saw there where the runner's on second, didn't advance. He's on third, is still on second, because that guy in right field made that catch and got that ball in pretty good.
First, next pitch to Keith is a swing and a miss for strike one. The previous pitch before that was a ball. So count now even at 1 with 2 outs. Calabrese still the man on second. Just a single. Just a base hit here would make a difference.
Base hit, but then I'd hold him at third. If it goes to center or right, if it goes to left, I'd send him in.
Okay. Next pitch to Grieshaber is low and in the dirt for a ball. Count now at 2 and 1.
The left fielder during outfield practice couldn't hit home plate or third base on his throws. They were weak, plus they were off track.
There's some action in the Florence bullpen. Sebald's still on the mound. Dancing at second base is Calabrese.
He needs a bigger lead.
As there's a ground ball foul down the first base side and out of play. Cal remains at 2 and 2 to Keith Grieshaber.
Calabrese is on second base, and if you look, he could get a much bigger lead than what he's got because the second baseman,
Pintor,
is playing way over. The shortstop's playing deep and short.
Yeah, they're both on the edge of the outfield grass.
Right, plus they're way to their far rights and lefts, and Calabrese could have, he can get another 10, 15 feet.
The 2-2 to Grieshaber's a fly ball into right field, and it will drop for a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Calabrese, and the Otters have tied this game on an RBI single by Keith Grieshaber.
You kept bragging about how he was leading the league in hitting and how he's leading the team in most hits, and he come through. You know, with the old Yankees, there was a guy named Tommy Hendrick they called Old Reliable. So here we have it now. You know, years ago we had a left fielder for the Otters. Alexander, his name was, played left field. And I used to call him Old Reliable. He had good power, and he always seemed to get the hit when you needed it. Alexander.
Here's another visit to the mound, and we're going to have a pitching change.
Yeah, you see the umpire on the bases go out and bring him in. That's when you know, hey, he's that new guy's coming in.
All right, we'll go to commercial break, and when we come back, we'll find out the new pitcher as the Otters have tied this game at 3. We're still in the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
At 3 off an RBI single from Keith Grieshaber, and boy did he need it. Ryan Long steps to the dishes. There's a pitching change. Say that one more time, Bill.
Carl Craigie.
Carl Craigie.
From Texas.
On the mound for the Freedom.
Pitched for Batavia last year in the NYP League.
Oh, yeah? The 1-0 to Long is a strike. Outside corner, if any. That pitch looked a little lone outside to me. And boy, did Keith really need a hit right there.
Oh, yes. And
going into the at-bat, he was 0 for 3, and he had a really good opportunity to make things happen. The 1-1, and it is low. It hits Ryan Long. Grieshaber had a really good jump at first to steal second. It doesn't matter now. So Ryan Long is hit for the second time tonight.
Well, you know, you kept talking about his athleticism. And you talk about his football and his basketball. That ball hit him and glanced off his body by about 15 feet, and he didn't give any indication that he was hit. He just slowly took the batting gloves off, and my God, that's a tough kid.
Oh, 100%. If there's another guy who could use a hit right now, it's Mitchell Hansen, who's 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. First pitch to Mitchell is a foul ball in front of the plate. Count moves to 0-1. Otters have men on first and second. Grieshaber, the man on second base, who just tied this game at 3 on an RBI single, scoring Rob Calabrese. Ryan Long at first after the second hit-by pitch tonight.
Strike.
Next pitch to Hansen is a strike. On the inside corner, count now at 0-2. Hansen has shown his home run ability. Hit one yesterday over left center field. The 0-2 to Hansen, swing and a miss, strike 3. The Otters tie this game, sending 7 men to the plate. We head to the top of the 8th, tied at 3. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters Baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations, west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North First Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Pitching change here as Patrick McGuff's night is done. Coming in for the Otters is Danny Urbeck, who made an appearance against the Thunderbolts in the previous series.
You know, in the first game, Dave, Patty McGuff went 6 innings, I believe, with 13 strikeouts, and here he went 7 innings with 10 strikeouts. You know, that's not bad.
Not at all.
When you figure, 6 and 7, in my opinion, is 13. But then 13 and 12, that's 25. So that's better than 2 strikeouts an inning.
So he had 12 in his first 12
What did I
strikeouts
say?
on. You said
12.
13.
I'm sorry. I was
close
thinking
enough.
of Randy got 13.
As the first pitch.
All right. 22. 22 strikeouts. That's not bad.
Not
that
at
should
all.
be leading the league.
First pitch to Mr. Pintor is a strike from Danny Urbeck. Second pitch is foul and out of play. It's a pitcher-catcher battery. Today's pitcher-catcher battery is Danny Urbeck on the mound and Rob Calabrese behind the plate. This pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. The next pitch from Urbeck is low in the dirt for a ball. Count now at 1-2 to Mr. Pintor, who came into this game as the leading batter for the Florence Freedom.
Ooh, what happened there?
The pitch was outside for a ball. The mask and helmet came off Calabrese. That was very unusual.
Well, what actually happened, I have no idea why Calabrese didn't get that glove up fast enough. That went right off his mask and then drove the mask and the hat, the helmet off. I have never seen that in my life as a player, a coach, a scout, or a radio. Never in my life have I seen a catcher not get his glove up in front of his face. My God, he's lucky that he didn't get hit in the side of the head.
Yeah. Now it's just some of those unusual plays you don't see in baseball too often.
Well, he might have miscalculated the velocity of the pitch.
Next pitch from Urbeck is in the dirt, low for a ball. Count at 3-2. We got a tie game at 3 as the Otters tied the game in the last half inning in the bottom of the 7th.
Oh, we got to get this out. We can't get the first runner on. 3-2 count.
Urbeck waits for the sign from his catcher Calabrese as Pintor calls time. Pintor came into this game batting .400. Still batting .400. He's got 2 home runs and 3 RBIs this season. Fly ball, shallow right. Hansen comes under it to make the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Ricky Ramirez Jr. We've seen his speed on the base path today. Urbeck comes into this game in 3 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts. Not bad in relief.
No, I'll say.
Urbeck kicks and fires for the first pitch of the at-bat. That's a called strike on the inside corner. That looked to be a breaking ball right there, Bill.
Yeah, he showed a slider in his warm-up pitches. It's more like a cut fastball.
That's the same pitch that Mariano Rivera had. As the next pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Count now at 1-1. So what makes a cut fastball?
Well, it's the way you grab it. Your 2 fingers across the smaller section of the ball, and then you slap it down, whereas the curve you're breaking your wrist, here you're cutting it.
As the next pitch.
I don't know if that's explaining it.
I think so.
It's like that compared to this.
So, in other words, as the count now is now 1-2 to Ramirez Jr. after the foul ball. So instead of bending your wrist and your arm motion going forward, it's just slapped.
Right.
It's like a quick release, like you're like you're doing a whiplash or like Indiana Jones with the whip type deal.
Yeah, on the curveball they always say you're pulling the curtain down by cutting it like that, whereas the slider is
cut fastball is like that. Got it. The 1-2, ground ball, fielded cleanly by Cronin, and throws it over to Castro. Bobbled the ball in his glove a little bit from the exchange, but gets it over to Castro in time for out number 2. And that'll bring up Andre Mercurio, who has 2 strikeouts tonight. Who has struck out twice, I should say.
Yeah. Grounded to the pitcher the first time and then struck out twice.
So, more than likely, McGuff will not get a decision, but he pitched excellent tonight.
Exactly, yeah. He left with the score tied, you're right. Which is good, because that preserves him. He was losing 3-1, and that protects his ERA. I mean, not his ERA, protects his win-loss record.
Right.
And he deserves a win. I'll tell you what, any other time, pitching like he did tonight, he deserves the win.
Yeah. Whenever you throw 10 strikeouts, you think you deserve a win.
Well, they had 3 runs, but only 2 were earned.
That's right.
The first one was unearned.
As this pitch is way inside from Urbeck, count now at 2-0 with 2 outs.
Patty had 10 strikeouts. He walked 1. He hit the 1 batter in the first inning. And outside of that, he was tremendous. Deserves the win.
And that's exactly what we want to see from your ace.
Oh, yes.
The 2-0 from Urbeck is a ball located outside of the strike zone and a little low. Count moving to 3-0.
Well, as I had told you earlier, the Otters have a habit of scoring in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And there it was. He scored 2 in the 7th.
Well, I don't think they're done yet either.
No, but what I meant is they score late in the game.
Right. It's a strike now to Ricky Ramirez Jr. Count now at 3-1. Urbeck takes a breath on the mound. He'll step off the mound to readjust his position. Takes another deep breath. Puts the glove at his waist. He'll kick and fire for the 3-1.
Strike
That'll
two.
be a called strike right on the inside corner. Looked like a fastball right there. Count now full to Ricky Ramirez Jr. with 2 outs. Top of the 8th. Score tied at 3.
With a good crowd here, over 2,000 tonight. Good game, good pitching.
Good weather.
Good weather.
Great
good
baseball.
announcing.
Oh, appreciate it. Urbeck kicks and fires for the 3-2. Fly ball, shallow left field. Megs, long, and there we go. Megs, Long, and Grieshaber are out there. Megs calls off his teammates to make the catch for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Tie score at 3. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at myMarathonStation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
We all have busy schedules, but could you spare just a couple hours a month? That's all it takes to make a big difference through the Big Brothers Big Sisters one-to-one mentoring program. You can spend just a few hours a month with a child in need and guide them towards a more positive future. For more information on local Big Brothers Big Sisters programs, call 812-425-6076. That's 425-6076. Start making an impact today.
Welcome back to Bossy Field as the Evansville Otters and the Florence Freedom are tied at 3. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Carlos Castro steps to the dish. And in the last time the Otters were at the plate, they scored 2 runs to tie this game at 3. First pitch to Carlos Castro is a called strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, Lane and Calabrese last inning were 2 guys that
helped start things. Lane, the leadoff double that was questionable, as the next pitch to Castro is low in the dirt for a ball. Count now even at 1.
Just imagine if he got thrown out going to second base.
Oh, man.
We wouldn't have the 2 runs.
That would have been devastating, too.
That's right.
1-1 to Castro. He fouls this one down the first base line and out of play.
You know, I was watching my great-granddaughter play baseball last night, and it brought back so many memories of these little kids. She's 7 years old, and they run to first base, and then they stop. As soon as they get to first base, they stop.
What?
So that means they slow down to get to first.
Oh, no.
You're supposed to run through the bag.
Yes, sir. Swing and a miss, strike 3 from Carlos Castro, and out number 1.
That's Carlos' 3rd strikeout for the night.
Yep.
Carlo chases too many bad pitches, if you notice it. And he's outside.
I saw that. I saw it over the previous series against the Thunderbolts.
You know, I say this to a hitter. If you got to reach for a pitch, if you got to golf got a pitch, if you got to hatchet a pitch, that means it's not a strike.
Going to bring up Jack Meggs, the native of Sammamish, Washington. First pitch to Meggs is low in the dirt for a ball. Count at 1-0 to Meggs. Oh, that was a strike. Scoreboard says strike. I don't know. That pitch was low to me, but scoreboard says count as 0-1. There's a foul ball down the first base line and foul. Count now at 0-2. Personally, I think it should be 1-1, but that's why I'm up here and not behind the plate, right?
Well, yeah, you got to watch that arm. Does that umpire throw out that right arm?
I didn't see him throw out the right arm.
I didn't see it either, but he might have had a short arm.
Yeah. Next pitch is fouled down the third base side and out of play. So count still remains at 0-2.
There's been an umpire. I haven't seen him yet. Of course, the season's early, but there's been an umpire in this league for the last couple of years. A little chubby guy, maybe 5'10", 8, 9, 10. He's small anyway. I tell you what, the pitcher throws the ball.
The 0-2 pitch, grounded to second, playable for Pintor. He throws it over to Crane for the second out of the inning.
The pitcher throws the ball. The catcher's got the ball, throwing it back to the pitcher. Then he makes the call. You say, oh, my God. Then he puts the arm out. So you know it's a strike. He puts the arm way out.
So in other words, he's as slow as molasses.
You say as a catcher, hey, if the runner is stealing on a 3-2 count and there's 1 out, I have to wait for him to decide whether it's a strike. Yeah. But,
that'll bring up Taylor Lane, who led off the last inning with a double, and run was scored off the David Cronin sac fly.
Yeah, the umpire's got to be quick in calling it. It's for the catcher, the pitcher, the batter. You can't hesitate.
Count at 1-0 to Taylor Lane, the former Arizona State Sun Devil. Next pitch to Lane is way inside for a ball. Count at 2-0. So Taylor Lane heading into the Thunderbolts series. He got a start on Wednesday, but the Otters managed only to get 2 hits. Then he came up in a pinch hit situation on Thursday, was able to get a single, and that'll boost his confidence. This next pitch is liner through the hole, past the diving Pintor, base hit. 2 for 2 is Taylor Lane.
Struck out the first time.
2 hits, I should say.
He's got 2 hits, yes.
2 hits, not 2 for 2. He's got 2 hits.
Right.
2 for 2 in his last 2 at-bats. How about that?
Okay. Yes.
I'm a positive guy. I only try to shed on the positive things that go on.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Rob Calabrese, and we got the closer warming up, and Tyler Vale for the Otters on the in their bullpen. First pitch to Calabrese is a strike called on the outside corner.
You know, when Seaball, that left-hander, was pitching in that first few innings for the Florence team, we had a lot of our runners on first stealing second or attempting to steal in second, and they got big jumps. They must have seen something
that we didn't know about.
Yeah, that there was a flaw in his delivery or something, because they were taking off before he released that ball, and that's what a good coach does. Or a player on first, you study the mechanics of the pitcher so you can get that jump. So whatever it was, we found it.
We got to give credit to Max, the pitching coach of the Otters, for that scouting report. The 0-2 to Calabrese is a chopper foul behind the catcher Pritchard and out of play.
It reminds me of a Seton Hall game against your school, Villanova, one Sunday afternoon, maybe 20, 30 years ago, where the pitcher was a left-hander, and every time he went to throw the curve, he bit his tongue. His tongue would stick out. So everybody in the ballpark knew, hey, here comes the curve.
So was he tipping his pitch that way?
Yeah.
As the swing and a miss from Calabrese, and that'll be strike 3. We head to the top of the 9th. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on, top of the 9th.
Top of the 9th.
Yeah,
You're right.
you're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
Evansville Living Magazine presents a historic Newburgh Wine Fest. This 2-day event will be held at the Old Lock and Dam Park in Newburgh, Indiana on May 17th and 18th, 2019. The wine tasting, fine local music, and a fabulous view of the river makes this a must-attend event. For more information, phone 812-853-2815 or visit historicnewburgh.org. This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We're in the top of the 9th with the score tied at 3. We got there as the Otters scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th to tie the game at 3. After the first 2 innings, the Florence Freedom had a 3-0 lead. Haven't scored since.
And the Florence team is on at bat, and coach went down there to coach third, but he was a little late. First baseman coach is way out there in right field.
Danny Ehrbeck back on the mound for the Otters as the next pitch to Lopes is a ball low. The first pitch of the at-bat was a called strike. Count now even at 1. Ehrbeck kicks and fires for the 1-1 as it's a foul ball down the third base line and out of play.
Did you ever see a first base coach be so far off the coach lines?
Oh yeah, he's pretty deep and like.
Oh my God, he's like a foot or two away from the stands, just sitting in there.
Kind of in no man's land.
Yeah, not in the ball game.
The 1-2 from Urbeck. Fly ball, right field. Playable for Hanson, and he makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Mr. Taylor Bryant for the Florence Freedom. Bill, today in 1970, during a 7-6 Atlanta loss to Cincinnati and the second game of a doubleheader, Hank Aaron collects his 3,000th career hit and his 570th home run. Aaron, the 9th man to amass 3,000 hits, is the first to also have 500 home runs back in 1970. The first pitch to Bryant is high and inside for a ball. Count at 1-0.
Well, I told you in 52 he was signed to a Evansville Otter contract, but yet went to Eau Claire, Wisconsin in the Northern League to play, where he did quite well.
The next pitch is on the outside corner for a strike from Urbeck. Count even at 1.
And if you went to Eau Claire now to Carlson Park where they played, there is a big bronze statue of him sitting out in the front.
Oh, wow. Was he amazing to see? Was he amazing to see on either live or on TV? I wish I was around to remember him. As the next pitch from Urbeck is a called strike right on the outside corner.
In spring training, he was the second baseman.
Really?
Yeah, he started out as a second baseman. They made him an outfielder. Him and Wes Covington, both of them played in Eau Claire 52. Of course, both of them went on to the major leagues.
Mm-hmm.
But Henry Aaron had strong wrists and quickness, very quick.
The 1-2 from Urbeck. Ooh, that was good location there. Called a ball, but that was right there on the outside corner. Count even at 2.
That looked like that cut fastball I said that just missed that outside corner like you just announced.
Mm-hmm.
But Henry Aaron was very fast, very thin, strong wrists.
The 2-2 from Urbeck. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's a good pitch right there on the fastball. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. That'll bring up Mr. Austin Wolbrock. You were about to say something?
Horace Gardner, who played here. Horace Gardner was a black Afro-American. That he was like the ambassador for the Boston Braves, later the Milwaukee Braves, and that's how Henry Aaron and all those guys got their start, because you brought...
First pitch from Urbeck is a called strike on the inside corner. 0-1, the count with 2 outs.
You brought Horace Gardner into a city that didn't have any Afro-Americans, blacks, whatever, and he was the perfect gentleman. Oh, he was a great ball player besides being an outstanding gentleman.
The 0-1 from Urbeck is a foul ball down the third base line and out of play. 0-2 the count to Wolbrock.
And he opened the door for the rest of the blacks. And like I said, when he played here, it was an honor to play with Horace. And anywhere they wanted to get a black. Now, Horace today would be in the major leagues. But at that time, they, what was the word? I can't think of it. They used him.
Ground ball to Grieshaber, fielded, throwing over to Castro in time for the out. Keith had to rush that one quickly, get it out of his glove in time, using his forward momentum to get the ball to Castro. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Will we see fireworks? Please stay tuned as you're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The local Pepsi Bottling Group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi Bottling Group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Monica Herzig and her band The Time Flies have a new album, Power Lines. See them live Sunday, May 26th, Boca Lounge, 2:30 p.m. You won't want to miss this one.
We are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 9th. Hunter Cullen leads it off for the Otters, and he got the first run on the board for the Otters with a solo home run back in the 3rd.
And that outstanding catch in center field.
Yes,
that very good defensive move.
That I thought was a home run for the Freedom. Instead, it was an amazing catch at the wall for Cullen using his speed.
Yeah. I surely wouldn't have been able to catch that.
As our radio engineer, Mr. Paul Mattingly, let us in with Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang. Cullen bloops this to shortstop, and he beats it out for an infield single.
Yeah.
That was some delight right there for the Otters.
Oh, I tell you, that was the Baltimore chop, they would call it, and that just gave Hunter the opportunity to fly down, and he used, I think it was a 747 jet to get down there. I tell you what an opening for the Otters here in the 9th inning, and now it's going to be interesting. You've got one of the best bunters in the on the team up. Now let's see if they're going to sacrifice in the second, or you're going to let Hunter steal.
I personally think as Cronin shows bunt, pulls the bat back as the pitch was blown away for a ball. I think because you have one of the fastest men, or one of the fastest guys in the Frontier League, you make sure he steals second before you do anything else.
No, I'm going to move him over. I'm going to make sure I get him in score position with 2 opportunities to score.
The Cronin shows bunt once more.
Yeah.
As
there's
pitch was low and away.
There's always the opportunity. There's always the opportunity he gets thrown out. He could stumble, not get a good lead. And anyway, you just put the fire out that you had possibly to score.
Well, that's why you're the baseball guy and not me, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Cronin bunts down the first base line, moves Cullen over to second as the pitcher, Mr. Craigie, throws Cronin out at first. So good job there by Cronin for the sacrifice bunt.
I tell you what, they must have been practicing because Cone executed a beautiful bunt, stayed there like you're supposed to. Hunter did it. That was one thing they didn't do in the past, but they had so far executed the proper sacrifice. So they must have been working on it. Great. They get an A+ for that.
Here comes Keith Grieshaber, who tied this game back in the 7th. He's got an opportunity to win it here for the Otters right now.
Yeah, and you couldn't have asked for a better man on second base, because anything I'm going to say that is on the ground that gets through the infield, Hunter is going to score.
1-0 the count to Keith as the first pitch to him was low in the dirt. Past 4 games, Keith is swinging the bat really well. The 1-0, liner, right center field, and it will be caught by the center fielder, Mercurio. That moves Cullen over to third, and the Otters are 90 feet away from getting a run home to win this game.
Right, and if you notice, I was talking about the runner before. Calabrese didn't advance from second to third on the fly ball out there. Well, that ball then was hit deep to right center, and Hunter could have walked to third base. I mean, it was so deep, there was no way you could have thrown him out.
Ryan Long steps into the batter's box for the Otters. Hunter Cullen on third.
Automatic walk.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, here he is going to first base. So, you know, he's taking off his batting gloves. He took off
it's a shame.
his shin guards. They're saying, hey, we don't want to pitch to this guy.
That would be... So, Long is 0 for 1 tonight, but he is now 2 walks and 2 hit by pitches.
Right. I'm going to say if I was the Florence manager, I think that's a great move. What he just did.
Yeah.
To have
I don't know. I'm kind of in it for the fans. I wanted to see Ryan Long make things happen here in the 9th.
Well, I did too.
Here's Mitchell Hansen. First pitch to Hansen is through the hole, base hit. That will be the game. Mitchell Hansen with a walk-off single, and the Otters win this one by a score of 4-3. His teammates leave the dugout and mob Hansen in the infield, and the Otters take this first game of the 3-game series against the Florence Freedom. First pitch, Bill, right down the middle of the plate. Hansen ropes it through the middle of the infield, past the second baseman Pintor as he was playing more towards first base than second base, and the Otters walk off here in the 9th.
Well, I want to say one thing. You made a great call on that play. You got excited, and you roused the fans who were sitting listening to this game, and that's the way to go. I mean, it was a thrilling game, and you deserve that hype to say, hey. In the meantime, let's give a little credit to that man that scored, that Hunter Colton, that not only did he get the home run and to give them a run, but he got the base hit in the 9th inning. He was the one that scored. So the Otters might have scored 4 runs, but you had Hunter scoring 2 of those 4.
Bill, what a game.
Oh, I tell you.
The Otters came all the way back. They're down 3-0 in the second, but they kept their ace on the mound.
Right.
McGuff goes 7, only allows 2 runs that were earned, 10 strikeouts. They come back. Hunter Cullen hits a solo home run. Then in the 7th, down 3-1, Lane leads off with a double. That was questionable whether he could have been safer out. Gets there safely. Later on, Calabrese walks. Cullen, sacrifice bunt to get Lane over to third. Sac fly by Cronin to score Lane to make it 3-2. Keith Grieshaber with an RBI single to score Calabrese to tie it at 3. And Mitchell Hansen, after Hunter Cullen leads off the bottom of the 9th with a single. Mitchell Hansen comes up in a huge spot. He was 0 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts before that at bat. And he comes up big. First pitch, first swing, right down the heart of the plate, ropes the game-winning RBI single for the Otters. And these 2,000-plus fans are going to go home with a smile on their face as the Otters take the first game against the Florence Freedom in an important Frontier League West Division series. Well, we'll go to commercial break. As I guess I pretty much break it all down, but I'll give you some rest, give you some time to think, Bill, and we'll get back with your thoughts as the Otters win this one by a score of 4-3. We'll get Bill's thoughts as well as the final totals as you're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
Evansville Living Magazine presents a historic Newburgh Wine Fest. This 2-day event will be held at the Old Lock and Dam Park in Newburgh, Indiana on May 17th and 18th, 2019. The wine tasting, fine local music, and a fabulous view of the river makes this a must-attend event. For more information, phone 812-853-2815 or visit historicnewburgh.org.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
The Tin Fish Restaurant, located at 300 West Jennings Street in Newburgh, Indiana, is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu features salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. It can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. The Tin Fish Restaurant.
Here's Mitchell Hansen. First pitch to Hansen is through the hole, base hit. That will be the game. Mitchell Hansen with a walk-off single, and the Otters win this one by a score of 4-3. His teammates leave the dugout and mob Hansen in the infield, and the Otters take this first game of the 3-game series against the Florence Freedom. Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Bill, we just heard the final play of the game with a hit by Mitchell Hansen to win this one for the Otters. Just give me your overall thoughts on today's game.
Well, number one, I'll tell you what, I think a total, it was a Otter win, a team win. You got great pitching, although, you know, it looked like it was a bad night, but I'll tell you what, Patty McGuff struck out 10 guys, and outside that first bad run, the first run in the game, which was unearned, he did an excellent job. Then you had good relief. But I'm going to say, in my opinion, the hero of tonight's game was Hunter Colton, who not only got the first home run, but between Cronin and Hunter, they laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt, which helped the team score in their respected innings. But then Hunter comes up with that hit in the ninth inning. That was an infield hit, which we have to recognize. It wasn't a hit that went through the infield. It was still in the infield, and he hustled and beat it out. He then scored the winning run. So Hunter counted for two of the runs, a perfect bunt, a home run, plus a great defensive play in center field. So as far as I'm concerned, Dave, it was a team win, and Hunter Cullen was the MVP. In my opinion, that's my opinion.
That's a strong case there, Bill.
Well, thank you.
Played well on the base path, at the plate, in the field. As we know throughout this Otters team, he is one of the best all-around players for this Otters team. It's okay if he bats ninth, because he can still make an impact no matter what.
Hey, batting ninth is not a weakness. A lot of people think it's a weakness, but I tell you what, that many teams in the Otters, that's a strength. Because if he gets on, you got a good leadoff man, and you got a good bunter and a contact man batting second. It should be it should be a run.
Now, I got to tell you, today was incredible because we emphasized in a way the importance of the game, as the Otters are now tied with the Freedom for first place in the West Division. It's important, especially because it's a divisional opponent. They come in at first place in the division, and just the magnitude of this series will be huge. You know, the Otters, they lost 2 of 3 against the Windy City Thunderbolts, but they won yesterday in grand fashion, hitting 4 home runs. They win today in walk-off fashion, especially for Mitchell Hansen. He's going to be my MVP because of his walk-off hit, but more importantly, in a way, he overcame some adversity. He's been a strikeout victim in almost every game this season. Yeah. Some of them have been pitches that were low in the dirt for ball 4, and he swung at strike 3. I think the mentality that he had today, going in with 3 strikeouts in his 3 previous at-bats. The thing that is great about baseball is there will always be a next opportunity. and Hansen took advantage of it. He has the power. We've seen it. He had 2 home runs in the previous series against the Thunderbolts, both at least over 335 feet. And he played exceptionally well in the field today, overcoming 3 strikeouts. He was 0 for 4 going into that at-bat. But the thing about baseball is you need to have a quick memory, because there will always be at least one more opportunity. Mitchell Hansen is my MVP.
Okay, just a real quick, there's an old saying in baseball and life, what did you do at your last time at bat?
That's right.
So, anyway, his last time he struck out, but his next time he got the base hit. You called it good. Very nice.
We'll try to breathe in all this enthusiasm as all the fans and all the kids out on the field to get autographs from the Otters. It's just an overall great win. We saw fireworks out in center field to end the night. It's just a perfect day for the Evansville Otters as they win this one by a score of 4-3 over the Florence Freedom. Next game will be tomorrow.
Yeah, let's put it this way. It was a perfect game, perfect pitching, good hitting. The field is in perfect shape. The board, gentlemen, back at the studio is perfect. And you were perfect. What a night. There it is. Plus it was a beautiful, 85 or so degree temperature.
Yeah, not a cloud in the sky today. McGuff on the mound with 10 strikeouts. The Otters come up. They played, in a way, I think they played small ball in a sense. In the 7th and the 9th inning, they didn't necessarily need a huge hit, but they were able to get the job done. They were able to bunt, move runners over, and sometimes that's what it takes to win. You don't need the big home run ball every time you're at the plate. Just little hits here and there, bunt single, steal bases, move runners over, things like that can get the job done.
Well, it's a different year, and I'm going to say a different Andy McCauley, the manager, field manager for the Otters. He is running more bases, taking it, being more aggressive on the plate. Plus, he's utilizing the bunt more, and both paid off. Bunting actual pays off. Stealing actually pays off. He executed. So hats off to manager Andy McCauley.
We'll come back again tomorrow. 6:35 first pitch against the Florence Freedom. We have Austin Nicely on the mound, and I'm sure he wants to rebound from his last start. If you remember, the last time we saw Austin Nicely he gave up
5 runs in the first inning, I think.
5 runs. He gave up, I believe, 8 runs in 2 1/3 or 3 1/3.
Right.
So he's going to look to rebound.
Yeah, a bad night. Everybody has a bad night. Let's hope that was his.
Yes.
Good job, Dave.
And
thank you, Paul. Good job back there.
Yes. Tune in tomorrow, 6:15 pregame show on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV. For Bill McCune and Paul Mattingly back in the studio, I'm Dave Nguyen, signing off.